Hello and welcome to episode 24 of Your Average Critics. We've had a couple of weeks break whilst 4/5 of us go to Ayia Napa, and then I've been in Cornwall, so a little bit of a summer break for us, but you know, lots of films that we've watched in the interim, and most importantly, three episodes of Game of Thrones to catch up on. So we'll get the niceties out of the way and we'll get straight into the thick of it. How was your trip anyway?
Wasn't bad.
Good, relaxing.
Yeah, hot. There's been a heat wave though, right? So wasn't it like 40 odd degrees?
It's like
It was
37
like
to 7 degrees, the highest one, I think.
37?
Yeah, 37 was
that's
the highest.
Decent.
Think
Well,
it's
none of you look brown in the slightest.
I'm surprised you're not
What's the
actually.
issue with that?
Okay, sorry, I'll rephrase. None of you look tanned in the slightest.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry, that's probably inherent.
Fuck's sake, Glenn.
I know, God, I was in Charlottesville yesterday.
Are we doing a swear count,
Oh.
Hopes, or not?
Swear count one. Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, boy. We
We'll
fully
exclude
endorse
that. No swear count for Obi from now.
Why are we doing a swear count?
Because he's
Because
trying
Obi
to...
swears too
I
much.
tried to stop. I'm trying to stop swearing.
I thought we established
This is like,
that.
I did this for New Year's, like 2 years ago. I
How
did a
was
New
it?
Year's resolution to not swear, and then about 3 days in, I was like, fuck shit.
Nah, as soon as the new year came through, it's like, fuck yeah!
Alright, cool. So, we've got a packed episode here, but let's get straight into Game of Thrones. So, we'll do it episode by episode. So, we've already talked about episode 1 in episode 23. So, episode 2 was Stormborn. So, just a quick recap. This is where kind of Daenerys and Tyrion... it's obviously spoilers throughout this.
You should have already seen it, but spoilers.
Exactly. So, Daenerys and Tyrion kind of set their plan of how they're going to, you know, divide their troops.
Mhm.
You got the Dornishmen going back to Dorne, and then you got the...
Unsullied going to
Unsullied.
King's Land.
No,
Casterly
mate.
Rock.
come
Casterly
on.
Rock.
Casterly
Fucking
Rock.
hell, the names.
Yeah, and then the Dothraki are heading towards King's Landing, I think. And then you've also got the little hanky-panky between Missandei and Grey Worm, which
Yep.
was...
That's decent.
Bit naughty.
I wonder if she did the same to him
She's hot.
that he did to her, because he hasn't got any, you know...
In the bum, innit? Juice spot for the guy.
I kind of want to...
But you know about that, wouldn't you?
Dirty bastard.
And then obviously right at the end you've got the big battle on the ships between Euron and
The Greyjoys.
The Greyjoys.
Yeah,
the Greyjoy versus
I
Greyjoy.
want to jump
Battle
in.
of the Greyjoys.
I don't get this. How did this guy all of a sudden have a massive fleet of ships?
He's always had a. Yeah. At the,
But didn't his sister...
at the end of last season, wasn't he said he was going to build?
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
ships?
but
Yeah.
surely it'd take
fucking
decades.
ages.
We don't know
Well,
how long's passed.
Just saying, everything
true.
that's happening well fast now. They're getting from A to B like that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no middle part anymore.
What do you think about that then? It's more efficient. You know, because previous first 3 seasons you'd have at least an episode of Arya trotting around on a horse.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like,
that's
come
not-
on.
I think it might be because there's not so many parties involved anymore. Like there used to be
Really?
20 different people getting in between other people, and
Yeah.
now there's like 5 of them really in there. So and they all come collectively together now. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's because one, there's less episodes
Yeah.
to do it in, and two, I think they're not on. They're going off. They're not going off the books anymore.
No.
So now it's
True.
very.
Up in the air about what's happening.
Yeah,
the word?
but my thing is with most TV shows, I think you can very easily tell with Game of Thrones when they're say for example season 4 compare season 4 or even season 5 to season 6 and 7, the difference in pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think a typical TV show it's quite formulaic, and I think they're following a sort of really different formula in season 7 now than they were in previous seasons, which is I'm alright with because we're getting lots of action, we're getting it really quickly, but I do makes me appreciate the way they kind of did it in previous seasons, a bit slower and a bit more
Yeah.
subtlety rather than
Yeah.
what's his name, Euron just being immediately able to find wherever the hell their ship
Yeah.
is and just being able to attack them all
But,
in one episode.
but that's the point that Chris made, that then, or someone made, I can't remember.
There's less people to
There's less people,
Yeah, yeah.
and the producers and the filmmakers are not going off any books anymore.
Yeah, but you had that point. You told me, didn't you? You said you feel like the writing's a bit more predictable, or
No,
a bit,
yeah, I think
it's
it is.
less kind of.
I think it's because
The
they
writing's worse.
they never had an end goal. They only had the goal of the books, and now they've been told, right, this is what's going to happen at the end.
Mm.
So now you've got to get from here to there
In 13
and do
episodes.
yeah.
Well, I
So I
reckon,
think that's why it's
Martin's
like
given them general gist of what's
Yeah.
going to go on
Well,
and how it ends.
Let's be real. This
And
guy's
just
never going to make the last book,
No,
so
I don't
or
think so.
however many books he was planning to make, he's not going to make them. So
But do we prefer the writing, like just the writing? Do we prefer the writing in the first 4 or 5 seasons to the last 2? So I mean,
season
I think
6
it's-
was so good.
I think it's similar, the writing. Though I don't think it's much. I don't think it's deviated much. I think the only thing that's deviated is that there's not as much detail in the in between parts. There's a lot of detail in the parts where we want to see, like so. The action parts, we see it all, and there's a lot of detail in that
Yeah.
part. Although, take that back slightly with the Greyjoy ships that happen like fast.
Mm.
However, it's again like it's that battle of like trying to make alliances, then battling to gain land, and then being beaten at somewhere else, isn't it? It's like a game of
chess.
Chess, yeah, almost,
I love
yeah.
it.
I just think, sorry, I know you're gonna say something good, but like, although I'm enjoying it, yeah, obviously, but it's just so much more like, I don't know, because originally Game of Thrones, like everything is very like things are very subtle, like little things that you wouldn't notice before. So like if you watched Game of Thrones the whole way through once, and then you went back and watched it again, I'm sure there's loads of things that you would think, oh yeah, I noticed this, this leads to this, blah 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 blah. Whereas now, like I'm just gonna pick an example out of my head. When I think this was episode 2, when might be episode 3 actually. Shall I wait till we talk about episode 3?
Go for it, mate.
Well, we can kind of jump in
We'll
and
jump
out.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it.
So like spoiler, Jon Snow goes to Dragonstone, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And Sansa's at Winterfell, and she's just like walking around the thing, and she's like telling people like what to do and like about their armor and shit like that. And I was just like, this is so like it's so like obviously they're trying to make it out like we want to portray Sansa as a good leader, so potentially when Jon Snow, I think anyway, so potentially when Jon Snow comes back, they might clash because they have different ideologies of how to face the White Walkers, blah 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 blah. But I just think the way they did it was just so like obvious.
Yeah.
Like her being like, oh, we need to do this and this. Oh, look at that armor. Blah, blah, blah. Why the hell would she know anything about armor?
Yeah.
But they sort of done that a little bit as well when Jon Snow was deciding whether or not to actually go to Dragonstone. She was...
With her arguing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah.
We'll
exactly
come,
the point
we'll
I'm
come
making.
back to their kind of.
Because why would
no,
you?
I was going to jump way ahead into episode 4. I think.
Okay. So,
we'll bring it back a bit.
why would you? Why would you? If you're Sansa, who I think is a smart,
Sexy.
Sexy as well. Is a smart girl who wouldn't like want to start any sort of rebellion. I'd imagine anyway. She wouldn't have that end goal unless Littlefinger was in her head, which I don't think he is at this point. Be arguing to Jon Snow's face in front of all his followers, because all you're doing, literally all you're doing is undermining him.
Yeah, but we talked about this last time. So I was like, it's good to have that kind of person who is like challenging your opinion.
It is, but would you not rather have that behind closed doors?
No, because you need someone to. Because otherwise, everyone's just going to listen to him, and he's
No,
pretty
because
much a dictator.
But then if you're a follower, you're going to think, oh, who's really in charge? You're going to think, maybe
But-
I like Sansa's idea. I'm going to follow Sansa instead.
I don't think it's because I don't think
Yeah, but you
it's
shut
like
it down.
planned or nothing like that. I think it's because she's very naive to it. Because she was like a very young girl when she got taken in by the
Cersei.
Lannisters, and then the Lannisters basically shipped her off to. No, she got taken away and she went to Aunt's place, didn't she? And then she ended up being with Littlefinger. I think the middle ground of like taking it is kind of just gone now. She's like kind of got to assert herself a bit more because
she's been
all
through
this
so
crap
much,
that's
hasn't
happened
she?
to her. Yeah, so maybe that's why she's doing it, and maybe deep down she also thinks you're not a what is she? She's a Stark. Maybe deep down she thinks you're not a Stark. This is my land, not yours. I don't think she does, but maybe that is a curveball that they'll throw later on.
maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there is a little bit of Cersei in her, which is kind of dangerous, but also adds a different dimension to her character.
Yeah.
She was such a wet blanket for the first like 5.5
I love
series.
Cersei, by the way.
Because she melted on her sister in it, like first season when her sister was getting attacked by Joffrey. She was like, "Oh no, don't do."
Yeah, but then also I think this is jumping forward to episode 3 maybe. But when Jon leaves her in charge, she seems quite taken aback by that. So that again, that's when she's walking around being like armor. But coming back to this obviousness of the writing, I feel like that's something which I've picked up on more this series because you got things like when Jon and that are discussing the White Walkers, and Davos is like, oh yes, well, Daenerys has got 3 dragons, and you know what dragonfire can do to White Walkers, and everyone, you know, if you're invested in Game of Thrones, you're like, oh yeah, it burns them, and he goes, it burns them. I'm like, come on, mate.
But to be fair though,
Get me halfway there and then I can feel the rest
Davos
of it.
has always been like that. And do you not think, I do agree with you, but do you not think it's because we've watched so many episodes of Game of Thrones, that those things we might not have picked up previously, because we've watched so much now, we're now picking up on it more?
But then, I would rather be able to, I would rather, like, have, you know, something inferred, and then for me anyway, I get some sort of gratification from feeling it in myself, and then discussing it with people, and then maybe you've picked up on something that I haven't.
Don't beat me over the head with it.
Exactly.
Let me find it.
And that's the thing that, and I know this is because they're no longer following. It's because they're no longer following actual books, but in the previous few seasons, I feel like again, like with rewatches, you could pick things up that, or maybe if you have read the books. Then you think, oh yeah, that's relating to that, rather than solely just having watched the series.
Have you rewatched these episodes though?
Which ones?
These 4?
No, not yet.
So your comment could be...
But I'm saying, like, if you've read the first 5 books,
obviously
they've condensed a lot, but you don't know, you know, they could mention a character or a place that is in the book, and they just off the cuff in the TV series. And if you haven't read the books, you might be like, I don't know what that means. But if you have read the books, you get an extra layer of kind of worth out of watching. Yeah.
We'll blame George for that one, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you, George.
What's your counterpoint then, Ollie?
My counterpoint was I don't think they're just setting it up well, obviously, that, you know, like, oh, what does it do? It burns them. And then, you know, he's saying it burns them. I think it's just, because the episodes are so, or the story's so short, in only 8 episodes they're doing so much, like, it's kind of got to be obvious, but at the same time, I think we're really, like, it's easy to pick up on what's going to happen, because there's only a few things that can happen. I mean, if George, the guy writing the books, if he turns around and is like, no, actually, you know, Tyrion's going to die in episode 2, you would be fucking livid. And
it's true.
Yeah.
I'd be livid, but...
you would be like, no, I don't accept that. That's total bullcrap, man.
No, but I would be shocked. And I would say, and that's a good thing, because I don't know about you guys, but I would say that in these 4 episodes so far, absolutely nothing has happened to me that's been shocking.
Okay.
I think...
Did you not think that, because you know you were saying it's not subtle anymore, and Cersei's was like, oh, we've got something that can stop the dragons, and then when what's his face, Bronn, was on the thing with the arrow, did you not think the arrow was going to kill the dragon, or did you think the dragon would survive?
I thought the dragon would survive.
I thought it was going to hit him, then I was thinking...
Okay, so
take Daenerys.
Let's go back to...
If it hit him, Daenerys is going to die, and Daenerys ain't going to die yet.
Let's go back to things that happened in episode 2, because that's where we see I think it's called a ballast. But basically it's just a giant crossbow.
Yeah, isn't it?
Was it? Were we underwhelmed by that?
Yes.
Right? So you got Cersei being like, Qyburn being like, oh, we've got this thing that can kill dragons. I was thinking, and he goes down into the basement, and I was thinking, has he resurrected a a
Yeah.
That's I was like, he's resurrected the mountain. Maybe he's got some DNA out of some dragon bones and resurrected a dragon, and there'll be like this skeleton dragon fighting. No.
Just a massive...
It's a crossbow.
Massive crossbow.
For one, he couldn't even control it, even if he did resurrect it.
Well, true, but
Excuse me.
I was just thinking, I was so underwhelmed by that.
That is a good point, actually. That's a very good point.
Hugely. And I'm not being funny, yeah. Actually, let me wait till we get to episode 4.
Can I ask, was the person who played the mountain always this guy?
No.
Because I remember, because we watched the first episode and it's like the horse with the where they got the
Sorry,
jousting.
Jousting, that's it.
Chris is doing the actions.
Jousting, and it's like a completely different guy, and I was like, is that the
I think they changed it a few times, but the guy who's it now has been there for a few seasons.
Yeah.
And then I think the only other thing that happened in episode 2 was Sam getting rid of Jorah's grayscale, which was dirty.
Oh, that was grim. When they mixed it in with like the pie.
With the what?
The pie.
The editing.
That was nasty.
And then we see hot pie, don't we?
Yeah.
Just a little TBT, innit? Okay, so moving on to episode 3. This is where the bend the knee episode, where John actually finally meets Daenerys.
There's so many memes of this. Have you seen on the cave walls? Like, I think that's episode 4 actually.
Bend the knee.
Yeah. No, he's like bend her over, and like there's like a picture of him with her at the cave wall.
And then you got Bran comes back to Winterfell, finally reunited with Sansa,
yeah.
and then he's like, "You looked so beautiful when you're being raped," and I was just like, "You're a fucking weirdo."
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
oi, that was nearly there, mate. That was nearly there.
This is crap. I'm sorry. Bran, I get you're the three-eyed raven, And you're all mysterious now.
But he's not Bran anymore,
And
apparently.
I get that. That's
Yeah.
fucking, that's completely fine. That's not part of my. That's not my argument here.
Okay.
Although I don't like his whole. I'm
not
gonna talk
Bran,
like I'm gonna
yeah.
talk like a weirdo thing. Whatever. That's fine. I'm happy with that.
Robocop.
But I'm assuming he's seen a lot, maybe past, present, and future, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why aren't you immediately telling? Because like, can't he? Doesn't he know where the White Walkers are?
Yeah.
Well, I think he hasn't fully controlled his power yet, so I don't think he can control when he sees this, that, and the
Well,
other.
yeah, he didn't finish his training, did he?
No.
I'm gonna tell you now.
What can he
do you know?
see?
Do you know what's gonna annoy
I don't
me?
know.
Doesn't he? Shouldn't he know that little things behind all the nonsense? Like all
What
the
nonsense?
But that's the thing. He hasn't finished his training,
What
so he might
nonsense?
not. He
Well,
might
little
not be
thing
able
is
to
kind of
tap
like-
into.
Puppeting.
Oh yeah.
being
everyone,
puppet everyone
Yeah.
from since season
But
one.
that's the thing. He might not be able to tap into memories of everyone yet.
Yeah, maybe.
This
but
is the thing.
I'll tell you what's going
This
to
is
annoy
the
me.
thing.
I'll tell it will annoy me now. If he does not meet Jon Snow and tell Jon Snow whatever was whispered into their ear, I'm going to be fuming.
Send the Raven.
Because his contribution to this series has been absolutely pointless if he does not tell Jon Snow. He's told
That's what I'm
us,
saying.
but he ain't
It's
told Jon
pointless.
Snow.
Send
He
the
will.
Raven.
No, I think the worst thing about Bran, I think this is jumping onto season
Is
episode
that he's
4.
a nugget?
You can't say that!
No, is when that girl who helped him the whole fucking
Yeah.
way is like, bang. We didn't even say thank you.
She's like, my brother
Bye.
died for you. He's like,
Mate,
part of the plan.
I fucking
I mean,
hate
to
him
be
so
fair,
much.
her brother did not have to die for him, but chose to. However, gratitude would have gone a long
and
way
even
there.
Hodor, man.
That twist was the best thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Saddest, but best.
Okay, and then we've also got Cersei. She's captured Illyria Sand and
Cersei's my girl. That scene with when she was.
You were getting off on this scene.
Genuinely, I actually was because
Obi got an erection at this scene.
Cersei is. I sent it to them today. I can't remember who I sent it to, but they didn't agree with me. But I would say that Cersei is probably the second smartest person in Game of Thrones after Littlefinger.
Okay.
Like I just think she's so
Where would you rate Tyrion?
third.
Huh.
She's so
Cold and calculated.
exactly, and like the whole thing with like the kissing the girl, giving her
Oh.
poison. I was literally just like, if I wanted to kill someone, she'd be the first person I would kill because that is so torturous. Actually, that woman's got to watch. I hate the
Yeah.
I hate the sand snakes, by the way.
Thing is,
I'm
though,
so
we
glad that
haven't-
two of them died.
Well,
we haven't watched them die. This is another thing in it. So until we see them dead,
Yeah, hopefully,
Well, two of them died at the end of episode
Oh,
2.
yeah.
didn't they?
hopefully we'll go back to it and she'll be like a rotten corpse or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's
She
what,
was-
that's exactly what I would want to do.
I did-
If because she essentially killed her daughter for no reason.
Yeah.
Essentially.
yeah, that was so unfair.
Yeah. So I'll do the exact same thing.
That actually,
With her.
that snake lady has just been the most
she's waste man.
wastest person. She killed her own father, was it, or husband,
Husband.
Yeah.
because he didn't want to go all out attack. Then she went all out attack.
Uncle.
Her
Not
uncle.
uncle. Brother-in-law.
She went all out attack, and now she's been fucking screwed over.
Yeah.
She deserves it, mate.
Yeah, that Dornish storyline was so boring.
Crap.
See, I like her.
Do you? She's a dick.
Yeah,
I
mate,
did see
she's
that-
just stirring shit. She's stirring up.
I saw-
And it's Cersei anyway. It's like, yeah, sorry, mate, but it's her daughter, but.
I did see.
Eye for an eye. No, I'm not having it. Eye for an eye.
I saw Cersei with lipstick in that scene. I was like, why is she wearing lipstick? And I was like, this is really weird. And then I was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
That you picked
When
that
she
out.
kissed her, when she kissed her, I thought that she would get to the mountain to rape her and make the mum watch.
Oh wow.
That's what I thought was going
Jeez.
That'd
I'm glad
have
you're
been,
not writing it.
Wow.
that'd have been even more brutal, mate.
Was anyone?
Obi was like, and they kiss.
Mate, the end of was that the end of the episode? Was the end of that episode where Jamie got told about Joffrey being killed because of
Yes.
that woman?
Yeah.
Sick.
And,
Boss move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mate,
Elena.
she's a boss lady as well, mate.
So we're
Yeah.
talking about
Like a G.
Elena Tyrell.
Yeah.
So what happens is the Unsullied storm Casterly Rock,
Mhm.
but then the Lannisters have already left Casterly Rock and have taken Highgarden,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's the thing. I like
smart move.
I like the voiceover with Tyrion, and they was whilst they were doing all the war thing, Tyrion was talking
Yeah.
about all that nonsense, and then saying about the secret sex tunnel that they went, they went through, and then they messed up on all Casterly Rock, and then they like conversely showed like the Lannisters basically saying like we're a step ahead of you.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Lannisters almost like once they taken over, they were like kind of like, oh yeah, where do we kind of go from here? I kind of got that idea, like they didn't want to
Lannisters.
move from there, yeah, and they knew they were coming, but they didn't do anything really about
Oh,
it.
what you mean the ones that are Casterly
Yeah,
Rock?
I was
Okay.
like,
I think they
It's
were
a
just
bit-
there on a suicide mission.
Yeah,
basically. They
pretty
were
much.
just
but
there
why the
to
hell was
die.
Jamie there? Jamie should have gone.
Jamie was at Highgarden.
Yeah, Jamie was at
wasn't
Highgarden.
there.
No, but I'm sorry, Highgarden. I mean Highgarden. It seemed
Oh.
like once they was there,
Mhm.
they had no.
Oh, they needed to
No,
get the
it's-
gold. So they were there to
Oh,
steal
yeah,
all the
yeah,
gold.
yeah, yeah.
Tyrell's
So
rich. Yeah, that's not.
that's screwed over now as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't dragons eat gold or
Oh,
something?
yeah. Well, I don't know.
Did they?
Don't dragons eat gold? That's
Wait,
Lord
so
of the Rings,
we're
isn't
still
it?
not- hold on.
Isn't that leprechauns?
I thought in Lord of the Rings dragons eat gold or
No,
something.
they love gold.
Oh, they love gold.
But no, wait.
Who eats gold? Unicorns?
Plus, that was in The Hobbit. Come on, bro.
We're confusing our
Knowledge-
mythologies here.
knowledge-
I'm just
Boston.
saying, it all comes from
But,
somewhere.
Oh wait, Bilbo in King's Landing.
Yeah.
With the that last scene, if I was Jamie, yeah, if I just given him the poison, because he essentially gave her a pretty easy way out,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Yeah, by the way, I killed Joffrey," I would have chopped her head off.
Yeah. I
But
was
he'd
like-
already-
That's an
hasn't
easy
he-
way out,
That's a
innit?
quick way.
Hasn't he already given her the
Nah,
poison
I
though?
would've-
Yeah,
Yeah.
she chucked it.
So she
I
was
would've
done,
chopped
innit?
Or the gut, or the gutter,
But
or
she
would have
said-
slit her throat.
But she says she doesn't want to go the same way that Joffrey does, but then she does go the same way
Yeah.
Joffrey does.
Yeah, but Joffrey's was
Joffrey's
pretty
just-
brutal. He was like,
Plus, it was a different poison as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. She's like, is it going to be painful? He's like, no, I'll make sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's just salting the wound for him, innit?
Yeah.
She's
But-
like, oh, BTW.
So what do we think about? Do you remember when? So when I think it might be episode 2 when they're having Daenerys having the council, and basically Ellen and Tyrell saying like basically like don't follow the men because following the men will get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like follow her own gut because that's how she lived this long. But then she's
I
dead.
do like how all the main characters are all like
Mm.
strong female leads,
oh,
Yeah.
it's good, yeah. I mean, it's really good.
mixing it up.
I don't know Tyrell's sick.
Yeah, she
I want
was.
to see my nan.
But like
But she told Daenerys not to follow men.
don't follow men.
But then Daenerys asked Jon Snow's opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she took his opinion. I know you're saying that she might not have done, but she said she'd go and burn everything, all the villages and everything. And he was like, if you do that, you'll be no better than every
The Mad
other.
King.
Yeah, so she doesn't listen to him.
No, she does, because she doesn't go and burn the village. She just goes and burns the army.
Yeah.
A little
Well,
different. A little different.
That's the bit of episode 4, which we'll come on to very
No,
shortly.
I want to go on episode 4 now.
I want to say one more thing about episode 3 and one more thing about episode 2. So episode 3, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't actually get to see much of the battles. So the battle at Castle Rock and the battle at Highgarden.
Do you really give a shit about those battles though?
Well, I wanted to see a little bit of action because the first 3
We
episodes.
saw a little bit of
wasn't-
action in Castle Rock.
A little bit.
Mm.
But it wasn't, the battle at the end of
Or
the
people
episode.
dying and shooting arrows.
Yeah, I
Big
don't
dragon
know.
coming across.
I know it's all for the efficiency and
Is that a
stuff.
different
That was
battle?
episode
Yeah.
4, man.
Oh shit.
Fuck's sake, Chris, you really want to talk about that battle?
I like that one better than this episode. I like
The
episode 4
battle at the end
better.
of episode 2 was pretty good.
Mm.
And
Did that have a dragon as well?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
what was that about? That was the ships, wasn't it?
quickly, can we talk about Theon? I don't know if you.
that was the
we were
second
talking
point.
about.
What a tuna melt.
So is Theon a bitch,
Cool
or is he just like thinking like?
He's a bitch.
Or is he smart?
I think he's a bit of both.
He's a
I
bitch.
think deep down he's a bit of both. He's
Yeah.
a melt because he wasn't going to do anything anyway. He wouldn't have gone in like with a sword. But at the same time, if you think about it, it's pretty smart because this guy's just bossed you all out, and
Yeah.
you killing him is inevitably just going to get you killed anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So probably a smart move.
Well-
Although his sister is probably now going to get.
Well, what I didn't understand was that the whole kind of the last series and a half has been building up to Theon kind of redeeming himself, kind of getting his kind of self-confidence and belief back. Like he saved Sansa, and he's kind of then he's kind of getting a bit more involved with the Greyjoys, and then he was kicking ass when he was on the boat, and then when he was confronted with Euron, I was like, this is your chance to kind of stand up for yourself. I know his kind of logic was that he didn't want Yara to get killed, but by him jumping in the sea, he doesn't know whether Euron's going to kill Yara
But
anyway.
apparently, what I've read is that Euron is like 10 times worse than Ramsay.
But we've not seen that.
Yeah, but he probably knows that. It's his uncle, so he probably knows that.
I reckon they're going to need to show.
I want to know that.
I think it was a bit of PTSD.
We'll see it, mate. We'll see
Maybe.
it. When he chops off Glenn's
So he
toe.
just went. I think he fully just went into reek mode for like 30
Yeah.
seconds.
But then also, like, he could have jumped ship and been. He could. I know this is obviously he didn't,
Far-fetched.
but he could have like drowned.
Yeah.
And then when he gets captured or saved by the other Greyjoys, they could have just pushed him back over.
Yeah.
But why would they?
Because they said to him, like, "Oh, you didn't help Yara or something."
Yeah.
How the hell do they know that? How the hell would they
They
know?
said
It was like I tried to save him. Like if you tried,
you were going to
be
be
here,
Exactly. Yeah.
Arr.
I think you ad libbing there a little bit. Fair enough.
But we
If
need
only.
we need to see a lot of proper messed up stuff from Euron if he's going to be anywhere near as bad as Ramsay Bolton.
I just don't think that's going to be true. I think Euron.
I think he's got the. He seems like he could be.
He
like,
seems
he's well egotistical.
He seems like a party lad. I'm not gonna lie. He seems like
On the set.
he literally. He seems like he's just been on a day session for about 10 years straight. You see when he was talking to Jamie about Cersei, he was like, "Oh, she's not gonna jump above." I was like, this guy's just a lad, isn't he? Like, he's not really. He doesn't seem serious in the slightest. He doesn't seem maniacal like Ramsay. He just seems like he's a bit batshit. Like he just seems like he doesn't really care about. Oh yeah, he doesn't really care about anything. He just like wants to have a bit of fun. like genuinely, but I don't think he's going to be anywhere near as bad as Ramsay is. I just can't see it in this.
There's not enough build up to make him as worse. I think that's the problem as well. Like, what is it? 4 episodes left of this season and 7 in the next. You got 11 episodes. What?
And 6.
Oh, there's only 7 in this one.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I thought it was 8.
Yeah,
No.
so I thought it was 8 and then
Shit.
I don't think so.
7 and 6.
I'm
Oh, my
confused, man.
word.
So what do we think is going to happen to Yara? And she's probably going to die, right?
I don't really care.
Who's that again?
Theon's
Theon's
sister.
sister.
Well,
Exactly,
she's-
mate.
she's
That's
a
the case in
king's
point right
aunt,
there.
Cersei
Case in
now.
point.
Yeah.
So she's probably just going to be rotting in prison.
Is she gonna? I don't think she'll die though, because I think that's just too simple. They would, if she was gonna die, they would just kill her on the boat.
She's gonna probably come out. She's probably gonna escape somehow from wherever she is. Try and save that snake lady. They're probably gonna be like, "Oh no, my daughter."
I think Theon will save her.
Well, too elaborate.
I think Theon will save her, or at least they'll give Theon a chance to attempt to save her.
I'm going to mention my theory of what's going to happen at the end after we talk about episode 4, but it does involve Yara. So let's talk about episode 4, which was not, in my opinion, not the best episode.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But
the ending was decent.
top 3,
Whatever.
maybe.
I'm not sure.
Oh wow.
Just the ending was
I'm
just
not sure.
sick.
I don't know if an ending can.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if an ending can emulate a
These-
whole episode.
This is my thing. Like, I'm not as in. I was at 7 episodes. I'm not as invested in these dragons as I feel like most people are. They're not really my jam. I'm not really that fussed about.
Well,
them.
in
Yeah,
my
that's
in
because
my
you like
opinion,
Cersei too much.
in my opinion, these
But, like,
dragons
I don't
could
want
have
Cersei to win.
wrecked.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want Cersei to win the Iron Throne or whatever it is.
Is it because you know she won't though? Is that
Not
why? you
really?
don't?
Because I don't like Daenerys either. I like Jon Snow. That's pretty much it.
And he's gonna probably give up the throne. So.
Exactly. Like these, I just think these, like since season 1, I just haven't given much of a crap about these dragons. I just don't care about
This is
them.
in my opinion, these dragons could have won this war a long time ago.
That's their point though. But obviously,
Yeah.
the only way they're gonna do it is by destroying everything, and then you don't want to be Queen of Ashes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Yes, queen.
She
True.
don't want to be her daddy, does she?
It's true.
Mad King. So I thought it was a pretty solid episode. You finally
I
got
thought it was good.
Arya back. So the 3 surviving Stark children are all reunited,
Yep.
albeit a bit
Bran's not all there.
Oh wait,
they're all a bit more messed up than they were.
can I just say, Arya, having that fight with that woman, as like, I know it was a jokey fight, yeah, but I tell you what, if Arya wasn't like on the ball, her head would have been. Like, that woman just went with a sword to the right, and
Or Brienne.
yeah, that was mad. Like, I know they're laughing and stuff, but like, come on, behave.
That's the thing. I use a little bit of a badass now with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's...
Sword, I'm sorry.
Did you
it's
catch the
a
thing
fucking
when she was,
needle.
when Brienne was like, "Oh, who taught you that?" She was like, "No one."
Yeah.
Like, so lame. I enjoyed it, but it was lame.
Yeah.
But so what was I going to say? The bit with when they were all reunited, and when Bran gave Arya the dagger, the Valyrian dagger. Do you think she's going to actually get to use that one somewhere?
I think so.
Who's left on our list? Because I've meant to be like 4 people there.
Well, it will. I mean, the Hound is still alive, but I think she's taken him off that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it'll be Cersei. I think Melisandre was on that list, wasn't she?
I hope so. She's a bitch.
Yeah, she's on the list. What, the red woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Jamie would be on the list just because
Logically.
he's a Lannister.
But I think the only way he'd be on the list is she knew that Jamie pushed off Bran originally.
True.
Because otherwise Jamie's got no right to be on that list. Like, he's
Did
I
not-
thought
Did anyone-
Littlefinger would be on the list, but
No, little
Yeah,
not on the
he
list.
might be.
Did anyone ever find out that it was Jamie who pushed Bran off the
No.
edge? No one actually found out. That.
Well, the only person who would have known would have been Cersei and the person they
He
paid.
did tell Ned, didn't he, when they had that fight in the courtyard, he stabbed him in the leg, didn't he?
Might have done.
But it's
Oh.
too far
I
out.
literally just saw that clip like 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
And he doesn't.
Oh.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I also want Bran to have more flashbacks to young Ned. Like, I feel like, you know, they set it up in season 6 and he had flashbacks.
Yeah.
If it's not Sean
That would be
Bean,
your day.
if it's not Sean Bean, it's not worth doing. To be honest with you.
But
So,
those flashbacks have kind of stopped.
I don't think they're going
from
to do
time
it
to-
only because I hate to say it. I think it's because they're going to do prequel seasons that they're not going to do them flashbacks now.
what would be the purpose of the flashbacks?
Yeah, and
Give
that.
me more info.
Because
what, though?
before we
You
only had
don't
the
want
purpose
more
of
info, mate.
of
You
him
want
finding
more.
We only had him finding
You don't
more.
like that.
We barely had the info of him finding out about who his mum and
Yeah,
dad are.
about
Like we
that.
don't actually know. We're just making
I think the
leaping speculation, aren't
I
we?
think the flashbacks only served the purpose of pretty much him finding out that maybe his dad wasn't the man who he thought he was, and secondly, finding out that Jon Snow is a Targaryen. That's it.
Do we know who the original White Walker is?
Just a random
I think
dude,
we saw that in the flashback, didn't we?
Yeah,
It
it
is,
was,
yeah.
it was just a random dude.
They're the only two things I'd need to know then.
Fair enough. I'm also a little disappointed we haven't seen any White Walkers yet.
But that's going to be a three-way battle at the very end, isn't it? That's going to be like the last
I
season.
think that's gonna be the last episode.
Well, this season.
This season, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it was last season. No, the season before, wasn't it? Where Jon Snow had
Hard
the...
Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Season 5.
are well slow, trudging through all that snow.
Was it episode 4 where the High Maester, whatever his name is, the one who's played by
The old
Jim
geezer,
Broadbent,
yeah.
when he says he's been writing a history of the Seven Kingdoms.
You're stuck on this, mate, aren't
Because I
you?
think it's cool, man.
I was
Right.
bare-
So that was this season.
It's such a bang average
This
theory,
episode.
man.
That was the
It's
season,
such a
no.
bang average theory.
It was
Who
episode
cares
3.
about this guy writing? If it's from his perspective or Sam's perspective, who cares?
Alright, the listeners won't get to hear my whole story.
Go on then, let's hear this.
No, it's fine.
shitty
No, move on.
theory. No, come on, I want to hear it now.
Swiftly
I want to hear what's different from what I just said.
No, because you built it up now and it's going to be anticlimactic.
'Cause she's so disrespectful.
Innit?
It's
Wow.
fine.
Oh, wow.
A guy can't just have a theory, can he? It's
alright.
I like his other theory about the three Targaryens.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about the big
No, come
battle.
on, mate, come on, say
Talk
it.
about
say
the big
theory.
battle.
Yeah, well,
So-
melt, mate.
So the battle was basically Daenerys was like, fuck it, I'm tired. She's got on Drogon and she's flown and she's burned all the gold galleons or whatever they are just before they reach King's Landing. It was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You finally get to see her in action. She's not just passive, you know. And
she takes the army of Dothraki with her.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that when they're like standing on the horses and doing the bow and arrows, I was like, that's such a good set piece. But it kind of felt like it was building up to Bronn dying. I mean,
Yeah.
it was all like focused on him. He was actually getting some decent lines. He was like getting some action. And then I was like, okay, he's gonna die.
For a millisecond, I thought Jamie was going to die.
To be honest, we
Yeah.
don't know if any of these are still alive. I'm assuming they are all still alive. But
You
Bronn,
said-
you don't see actually survive. You just see him scurrying away,
Yeah.
and then next you see Jamie going towards
dragon.
Arya,
Daenerys.
Daenerys. Sorry. Bloody all their funky names. And then he gets hit off a horse by another guy who you can't actually see, but some people assume it's Bronn, some people assume it's that old geezer, and some
No.
people assume it's the big dench guy who
Yeah, it
is.
was a big dense guy.
I think it's Dick.
We don't know that.
According
Yeah.
to Wikipedia, it says Bronn tackles him into a river.
Oh,
But
actually-
we don't know that for sure.
But we do now.
Well, I mean, that's again. This is
Anyone,
Yeah,
anyone can
can
edit Wikipedia. I could edit it now and say that Drogon tackled him into the river.
Did he not?
But like, so
I dare you.
realistically, obviously, I'm gonna do my bit of realism. Even though we're talking
Bit of
about
realism.
even though we're talking about Game of
It's
Thrones.
realism corner.
Yeah. So Jamie gets tackled into the water. Yeah, he's got a suit full of armor. He's dead. like,
pretty much.
a suit full of armor. He's sinking all the way
if
to the
you
bottom.
look at it, like look in the clip, he really doesn't go that far into the water.
But he got.
I reckon he could just sit up and his head will be like poking out of the water and he'll just see a dragon, he'll be like, no. Just lie back down.
And also, isn't that water going to be super hot?
Yeah.
So he probably boiled.
If I was him, I would have taken
Wouldn't
my
that only
arm
be
off
like
my
the
metal
top
armor.
part of it though?
I don't know.
As you got
I don't know
lower
how far-
down,
I
it
don't
get
know how far
colder.
down the water-
I mean, I'm not being funny. Like with your realism thing, the spread of that fire.
Yeah.
If it can burn an entire row of army from the air, like if you're that close to it, you're gonna get burnt to a crisp no
Yeah.
matter like
Well,
how short the burst.
true.
You're
is.
just
Like,
going to be well tanned.
Daenerys won't, will she? 'Cause she's immune to
And
the
also,
dragon fire,
that's
isn't she?
if you're Drogon, if you're Daenerys, I don't know how she controls him or whatever. Wouldn't you not be like, because he's just like shooting fire on select bits? Can you just be like, just burn the whole thing down, man?
yeah.
But then
and,
it's
end this quick.
But I suppose But then if she's trying to be limited and not trying to destroy the surrounding areas, like she's
The
listening to
dragon's
John.
got the dragon's got a breathe and all. Fuck's sake, it's breathing out
It's
fire.
got
It needs
a
to inhale.
It's got a nose, mate. It's got a nose.
You guys were
Too
saying.
better. You can't breathe out and breathe in.
Yeah, try exhale.
Are you a dragon, mate?
That wasn't you.
But are you a dragon, mate? Right.
Chris would never be a dragon.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like if this was the first 5 or even 6 series, then Bronn would have died in that episode. I feel like it was building up to it.
He
and
should
maybe,
probably die now.
No,
I like
Bronn
Bronn. I like
too
Bronn.
much.
I like Ron, but,
I like Bronn.
But
he
that
hasn't really
makes it
done anything
even
recently.
like more emotive when he dies.
Yeah, I think it showed that he has some redeeming like qualities as well. I think that's what they're trying to do because he was chatting all about like getting the money, getting land, and then when all the hell broke loose and he lost his bag of money, he could have gone for it, but then he decided to go and rush off to the crossbow thing.
I thought that. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna pick up the money and just get burnt. I was like, oh.
Off topic a little bit, I think it's episode 3. The guy who had grayscale but doesn't have grayscale anymore, Jorah. What do we think he's going to do?
Find the nearest.
Yeah.
But did Daenerys give him a mission before he went off?
Tom to get
No,
better.
it was to
Tom's
go
good
find a
better.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh, was that it?
That was it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, job done.
He's gonna go back.
But he's gonna probably go dragon.
He's in love with her, isn't
Yeah. What was I going to?
I swear he was in love with her.
he? You guys were saying that the dragon was dead.
Who?
You guys earlier, you said, "Oh, they killed the dragon."
What?
Yeah, earlier when he got shot by the arrow.
Oh no,
Oh.
well, I think Chris asked us whether we thought the dragon, would
was
die.
gonna-
No, I said no.
We didn't. I didn't think that.
Maybe this is to the
Man, do that. Wait,
Conversation,
fucking
really.
play it back.
If Bronn was better at aiming, mate, right in the eye I would have done.
I thought it was gonna go straight down his throat.
But like,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
That would have been better.
But what was I gonna say? Could he not, as the arrow's coming towards, could he not just go and burn the arrow as it's
Probably.
Maybe
Might
he
be
was
going
inhaling.
it might be going too far.
It
But
was probably metal.
oh,
The
yeah,
arrow.
maybe.
I mean,
also,
you can burn, like, you can melt it, can't you? So.
Also-
Is it that hot? I don't know.
What, dragon's breath? What? I don't know, mate.
But can dragon's breath melt steel beams? Don't know.
Who knows?
Does
What I was
it have
gonna-
steel beams?
What I was gonna say, it kind of shows how ineffective. Sorry. Obviously, the crossbow thing is because obviously it did make a mark, yeah, but then he just burnt it to a crisp. So if you're Daenerys now, like, I would just be like, right, next time we go in, we need to keep an eye out for all these things. So we're just gonna burn them straight away because they got nothing.
Do you know what they should have done? That stuff that blew up the fucking city should have stuck someone out at the end of
I think
it.
it's all gone.
Yeah, the
I
wildfire.
think it's all gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Mate, that would have been key.
I feel like, so Daenerys' kind of internal conflict has been, do I just burn everything or do I, kind of do it the good way? I feel like if she'd just gone with that dragon and flapped it about a bit, maybe even with all 3 of them, I reckon half those soldiers would have just fled.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, she probably didn't
Yeah, but
need to.
do you want them to flee because they might go back
Yeah,
and
they'll just
figure
go
out a
back
plan?
and then-
True.
But they might go back and be like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
dragons
fuck
are
that.
real." All
Yeah,
she
but
needs
then
to do
you-
is
but
fly
then
the
you-
dragons over King's Landing.
Yeah, but then you got these mentalist like leaders who are going to try and like be like, well, if you don't do this, then I'm going to kill you in an even worse way.
Oh, but also, like, if Jamie is alive
Yeah.
and they set him free, he's going to be like, yeah, we're totally fucked because you just saw this dragon melt the entire
But I
fucking
think
army.
the point, so like what we were saying earlier about the prediction, so like I think we've all pretty much said that we think that Jamie's still alive.
Yeah.
He's gonna get captured by Daenerys, and like they're gonna she's probably gonna want to kill him or whatever because obviously he tried to kill her just before he got jumped into the water. And Tyrion's gonna be like, no, we just need to keep him alive as leverage, blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
something along those
Yeah.
lines. And then basically she's gonna plan to kill him, and Tyrion's gonna be like, yeah, you need to get the hell out of here, like he did, like Jaime did to Tyrion in season 4, 5,
Yeah.
after
4.
he was
Yeah.
on trial for killing their dad, or was it killing Joffrey? One of
Killing
those.
His dad.
Joffrey.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
And then he killed his dad.
Yeah.
Killing his dad.
What?
Yeah.
In that scene where Jamie was riding towards Drogon and
Yeah.
Daenerys, what was Tyrion saying? I couldn't
He said,
really...
you fucking idiot,
Yeah.
run.
Oh,
What did he
right,
say
okay.
before that? He said something first.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
an idiot. He's a new idiot, you fucking
'Cause
idiot.
I could have swore I heard him say,
You can do it. Yeah.
Or
I
did he
think-
say,
I
don't
think-
do it?
Don't do it.
I think he said don't do it.
Right.
I think he don't do it,
That's
and
what
then
I
he
thought
called
I
him an
heard
idiot.
as well. Because
Yeah.
I thought he said do it, and then I was like, what, is he talking to Daenerys or is he talking to Jamie? And then when he said you fucking idiot, I was like, oh okay.
No, I think he said don't do it.
I think that what you said is going to be going to happen. So they're going to capture Jamie,
Yeah.
use him as leverage because obviously he's a very powerful prisoner. I reckon that Tyrion might actually kill Daenerys.
No.
Um,
Really?
Come
Oh,
on.
that
Don't.
That'd be a good twist.
I don't think Daenerys is surviving this series.
I think Daenerys.
You don't think she's surviving this series?
This series is far too focused.
I'll tell you
on
what
that.
then. I'll tell you what. If that's the case, then I think my thing is definitely come into action.
What with the dragon?
I reckon Jon Snow and Daenerys are going to get married in some way, shape or form to join an alliance. So then he doesn't have to bend the knee. Then eventually he'll be like, well, I'll bend the knee so you can have the seat, almost kind of situation. So they're together. Because a king would usually take the throne, wouldn't he? But he'll be like, I don't want the throne. I'd rather be in Winterfell kind of issue. So then she takes the throne.
Yeah.
But then if she dies, then he technically
True.
becomes king.
True.
And then he's boss man. And then if he's Targaryen, and if he's Targaryen, he gives a little stroke to them dragons,
True,
mate.
true,
He's got
true,
all of them.
true.
He's got all his armies. He's got his dragon. What do you call
Dragon
it?
glass.
Mate, he's bossing
I
it,
just
mate.
feel
I literally just thought something right now. What if they decide to get married or whatever for some like not out of, maybe not romantically but just out of to bring the forces together, and they travel to Winterfell to get married and whatnot, and then whilst they're having the wedding the White Walkers come and Daenerys dies and there's the White Wedding.
Hey, yes, bro, yes.
That's my
That would
prediction.
be jokes.
So, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the series is far too focused on Daenerys for her to survive. The fact that the first series was all about Ned and he dies, it's too obvious.
Don't bring that up again. Just go over it, man.
But also the fact that
God.
there was a prophecy that she'll get betrayed 3 times for love, money, and blood, and she's been betrayed twice already. So once,
Which ones have been done?
so Jorah betrayed her by
Is that
selling
love?
her secrets. So that I think was love. It could be love or money. And then the guy in Carth, I think his name is Zaro Dox or something. He's the one who gets locked in his vault at the end because he steals her dragons, and he wanted to marry her for kind of wealth and power. So arguably you could switch those between love and money. They're both.
And what's the last one then?
The last one's blood.
Blood.
So that's why I think, again, kind of what you're saying is that Tyrion will betray Daenerys for Jaime.
Yeah.
But I just think it'll be that step further and he might kill her.
She has been hinting as well that Tyrion's loyalties might not be
what they are. Yeah.
solely focused on
Shitting hell, this whole thing could go right twist around if she
Tyrion's
dies.
saying the long con.
Yeah.
That's his
I
game,
do
though,
think.
isn't it?
No,
That's
but
his
I
game.
do think
He's
Tyrion
gonna
believes
be
in her
like-
though.
Isn't
Yeah,
he
he
a
does. I
Targaryen?
think, yeah, well, this is
He's
it.
gonna be
This,
like,
this,
well, now I'm gonna be
but
right.
did he not stroke one of the dragons, or was he very close
He
to
was
stroking
very
the dragon?
close,
And then
yeah.
and then someone
he managed
came in.
to feed it, I think, or something.
Yeah, so that then leads me to believe that your Targaryen theory could be true.
Three-headed
In which
dragon and all
case, Tyrion and Jon Snow could get together, not as but like Tyrion and Jon Snow get on very well.
that. Yeah.
So and Jon Snow might be like, all right, we've killed her. You've saved me a bit of hassle. You've let Jaime go. That's all right. Don't worry about it. And now you can tell me what to do and we'll do it. Kind of thing. I don't know. There's many ways this can go, isn't it?
What did we
They
think?
could all die.
Well, next episode's tonight, so we
Yeah.
find out.
What do we think of the the drawings in the cave of the first men and the White Walkers and all that stuff like that?
That's boring, man.
Someone said like, would it be funny if John just like drew that like 2 minutes before she came into the cave? I wish that was the case, but no. I thought that was quite interesting, but like, because that was the bit where she was like, if you bend the knee, so we don't actually know if he might have bent the knee at that point, but we don't know. She came and
I think he's just like, stop focusing on the fucking Iron Throne and just.
this thing,
That's what he's trying to say.
This thing, he's trying. I feel so bad for him because he's literally saying, like, I'm gonna swear again. He's literally saying, "Fuck this war." Like, I'm trying to stop all of us from dying. Can we sort out the imminent problem before we sort out all the problems between us?
He should just say, look, help me out with these guys, and then I'll.
That's
bend
what
them."
That's what he's trying to do.
That's
That's literally what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And no one will believe
Does
it.
he
'cause they
know
haven't
that the
seen it.
White Walkers can cross the wall?
Uh,
Because otherwise it wouldn't be a problem.
I don't
right?
know.
I don't know.
He must think something's coming because the White Walkers had never been this close to them.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about Bran messing it all up, does he?
No. He doesn't.
Bran
even
is
know
such a
Bran's
loser. He should have died, man. First day.
chicken nugget.
Send a Raven. Just be like, yeah. By the way, you're a Targaryen.
I don't even think there's gonna be an Iron Throne to fight over. I reckon they're gonna need
Well,
to
this
melt
is
it
it,
now.
mate. I'll take one sword.
That was my fucking
Well, it's
theory,
Valyrian-
wasn't it?
it's Valyrian
That was
steel,
my
isn't it?
theory. I
The
said
throne
that.
is
Mate,
made
you
out
take
of
one of
Valyrian
those
steel.
swords out, mate. It's all falling
All
down
right,
anyway.
Ollie, tell
so-
us your
No,
theory.
no, I mentioned this way before.
that
They're
would-
going to melt down the throne, you've got 1,000 swords, that's your 1,000 swords
Yeah.
to fight off the White Walkers.
And then
and there will be no throne.
off the back of that, there'll just be 7 kingdoms rather than one, like combined.
Do you know what I think though?
Ooh,
Maybe.
So is that where your theory comes in?
Maybe maybe at the very last episode, Jon Snow versus Daenerys, because they have a bit of a fight. Both take a sword out the throne falls apart, and then they have a fight, and that's it.
Jon Snow's there
But-
in
but
a fight. Jon Snow's gonna chop her head off. And that'll be it.
But the
Mate, she thinks she's ballsy, mate.
So first have to get to King's Landing.
Alright, so
No,
it's a prediction right now. Because obviously, I think Glenn thinks it's gonna be Daenerys. So, which major character is dying first? Do we think?
Daenerys.
I think it'd be more of a shock if Jon Snow died.
Again.
I don't think
He's already died.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he will. I think he.
So do we think he's the imminent winner then? Because
I think he's getting
died.
to the end.
Yeah.
He's getting to the end, regardless of what.
I
else
think
happens.
one more Stark child will die, and I think it might be Arya. I think she'll kill all the people, and she'll be done. Her kind of mission in life is over.
Yeah.
Nah.
I think Arya might die as well, just because she's the only one who fights.
Nah, I think what's her name?
Sansa.
Ginger one might die.
Sansa. I
She's
was
gonna
just
she's
thinking
gonna
that.
piss off Littlefinger or something. And Littlefinger's just
I
gonna.
don't think he loves her too much.
Littlefinger, no, I don't think he actually loves her.
Do you not think?
No, it's all for
I've-
power.
I reckon Cersei will kill Sansa. They'll come into a scenario
Is
where
that
Sansa
ugly?
kills her.
Well,
Okay, so who do we think? Right,
Cersei kills
let's
her.
maybe rephrase this another way. Who's surviving to the end of the entire series?
Jon Snow,
Jon Snow.
Tyrion.
Yep,
Tyrion,
Jamie.
yep, I agree with that.
Jamie.
yeah. Wouldn't the biggest curveball be though?
If Cersei died,
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be a world.
Well, I think
curveball.
Cersei will die.
No,
Well,
but
like soon.
at the end of this season,
Yeah.
if she
Oh.
died, like. It's Jamie,
And again, there's also-
Jamie killed her,
Well, there's
mate.
theories that Jamie will kill her, isn't there? I reckon Tyrion, again, similar to what happened in season 4, Tyrion will let Jamie go. Jamie will end up killing Cersei.
What if Cersei thinks Jamie is dead, yeah? Because of that whole fire thing, yeah? Then Tyrion lets Jamie go. Jamie then sees Cersei having sex with,
Tyrion?
no, Grey, what's
Oh,
his
right.
face?
Greyjoy.
Grey
Yeah,
Worm?
Greyjoy. And then he's like, what? Kills them both. Then Then he's king. Then he's king.
But she's been fucking loads of
I don't
people.
think he wants to be. I don't think he wants to.
No, he doesn't want to be king, so that makes me
He'll
think that
be-
he'll just be okay with it.
Advisor. Jorah's gonna die. I think the Hound.
I reckon Sam's getting to the end.
Yeah, Sam.
Well, Sam's right.
Like
Well,
book, like paper cuts.
Yeah.
Well, he's
He'll
in the
be the
deep, he's in the
bookworm.
deep south, isn't he?
He'll get to the. He'll get all the way to the end.
It's got Glenn's Fury written all over it. Sam makes it.
Yeah, and then I think the Hound will survive. I think he'll just be like a
Nah.
Survive, I thought you said dies.
No.
And
That's right,
Varys,
Sam's gonna die.
will
Yeah,
probably
make it
survive.
Which one's Varys?
The
Oh yeah,
eunuch.
yeah.
I reckon one of Grey Worm or Missandei will die, just because
Oh,
they're
that's
in
so
love.
It'll be Grey
man.
Worm. It'll be Grey Worm.
That'll be so
I
upsetting.
reckon it'd be a better thing if Missandei dies because although she's really good for like
What's the
translation.
bald guy called again?
Varys.
Big twist. The last battle's between Varys and Littlefinger for the throne.
God,
That last
Fucking
episode.
hell. Could you imagine?
That's
I
just your
wouldn't.
war of
I'd
words, isn't
turn
it?
the TV off. I wouldn't give a shit what out of those
The
island to.
episode 5, which is on tonight, is called Eastwatch.
Have we seen the promo?
No.
Oi, where's White
I
Wedding?
have seen-
Oi,
I have
spoil
seen
it.
the promo.
mate,
I don't wanna hear it.
TBA, mate. It might be White Wedding.
Might be.
Well, I haven't seen the promo, so this is pure speculation.
I haven't
But
seen it either.
The fact it's called Eastwatch suggests that I think we might see White Walkers because Eastwatch is the
Yeah.
port up by the wall.
Yeah.
So
Which is
Spoiler,
where they're gonna-
Glenn. God.
But as
Have
well,
you seen
isn't that where the Hound and the other geezer who can summon the
Guy in the fire.
Yeah.
I see stuff in fire.
isn't that where they're
Golden
going?
Light.
are they? What are they going there? I have no idea. I don't remember
I think
their
so.
little chat.
I can't remember if they said they're going there, but I seem to remember
But
them
has
saying
anyone
they're
also
gonna go there.
like IMDb kind of spoiled something for this episode? Has anyone seen the
No,
cast?
don't tell me.
Anyone seen the cast list?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
No.
Don't tell me.
Okay. Well,
If it's the start, you can tell me.
it's not.
Is
don't
it
tell
Rob
me.
Stark?
No, it's none of the Starks. But there's a cast list, and it did kind of spoil one of the characters that is going to be in it.
I hate stuff like that.
So
Is it the guy that Joe's just talking about? Set things on fire.
Well, no, don't say it. 'cause
He was
I'm not
like-
gonna. I'm not gonna say it.
The first
Um,
episode of this.
But yes. So
If anyone
Game of
wants to
Thrones.
see it, I can show you. But
Game of
otherwise,
Thrones.
show it to me.
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
It's gonna be awesome. And then next week we'll recap what happens in episode 5. So let's talk about some films.
Mm.
So what did you guys watch?
hold
whilst-
on, mate. I want to talk about Rick and Morty, mate. Did
Okay.
you watch that?
Yeah, because
Oh,
Rick.
Rick.
Oh, I haven't seen
This
the
show
third episode.
is jokes, mate. This show.
I've seen the first 2 of series 3.
Oh, mate, that's still pretty good as well. But I got to watch the new one as well. Is that on Netflix though?
Don't you think
It's
that
just so random.
Rick and Morty is
Yeah.
actually surprisingly deep?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he's obviously like very unhappy in himself. He's an
Well, they're in a
alcoholic.
therapy session. This one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then there's an episode where he like tries to kill himself, and I was like, wow, this is deep, but I really appreciate it. Like, it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest TV shows that I remember. But it's also Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. And it's also one of like the most heartfelt in a kind of really odd way. But
The one where like the mum and dad are having their issues, and then she's on the VR set, and then they're like watching him like run away from the police. That's a cool episode.
Summer's kind of getting a bit more into it now, isn't she? Like, she was a periphery character, but the first 2 episodes anyway that I saw,
Yeah.
she's kind of getting a bit more action and.
I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long Rick and Morty's going to go on for, but I just hope it stays as good, you know. It's
Yeah.
gotta be-
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Birdman is now Phoenix Man. What happens in this episode then?
Right, find me the thing.
So in this episode, they're going for therapy,
Yeah.
but Rick doesn't want to go.
So he turns himself into a pickle.
He turns himself into a pickle.
and there's a device that turns him back into a human 10 minutes after they leave, and his daughter steals it, so he can't turn back into a human.
So he's got to stay as a pickle for like the fucking day. So
and he literally he somehow manages to get into a sewer, and he has to fend for himself as a pickle, and
he ends up like killing loads of people.
yeah, and rats.
like a Russian
Oh,
embassy
yeah.
or something.
Oh mate, it's jokes. It's actually over
The
quite
show's
quick.
too funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how they come up with all this like
I don't
random
know,
stuff.
They get high
Do you know what?
as a kite.
It wouldn't surprise me. They put loads of fruit and stuff in front of them, get high and see how it goes, isn't it?
Pickles.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright, what
Jesus.
else is new?
I've got a list here. Oh, cheeky.
What's this?
Do you want to say?
What is it?
The
So,
spoiler for episode 5.
Oh no.
so Joe actually watched Get Out while we were on holiday.
I did.
What was your thoughts?
It wasn't a great film.
You didn't like it?
Not really.
Josie.
Get out.
Alright.
Go stand outside again.
But no, I mean, it was an alright film, but it wasn't, and there was nothing in there for me.
You're racist, man.
So were you disappointed, or was it just
Well,
kind of...
I thought there was going to be a lot more horror elements and like terror elements.
It's not horror.
elements.
It's
I
a
know,
thriller,
I know, but I didn't know that.
Oh,
But
that's
so,
true.
and
Okay.
yeah.
Was there anything that you liked about it, and anything that you strongly disliked about it?
No, not really. No.
What about the ending?
What about it?
Well, what did you think about it? Did you expect what happened? Did you
No.
kind of feel it was anticlimactic?
I didn't expect the whole taking out the brain and swapping the brains. That caught me by surprise a little bit.
Actually, didn't they?
I thought it was just going to be a little bit of a hypnosis thing, but yeah,
Did you not feel like it all kind of happened quite quickly at the end?
Were you paying
It was very
attention?
ra- it was
Were you
very
asleep?
What do you
must
mean?
have- You're like,
What do you mean?
No, the hypnosis. Yeah, it was a good film.
it wasn't that good.
Was
It
it the
was-
first time you'd seen it, or did you?
No,
see
we
it
saw it at the
We saw it
cinema.
at the cinema, yeah.
People were shouting at the cinema screen. It was like, when she was like pretending to look in her handbag for the keys, and she goes, "You're not leaving." Or like, no, she pulls
Yeah.
them out in it. And it was like, "You fucking bitch!" Like screaming at the screen.
And then when the black guy comes at the end, I can't remember his name. What's his name?
I don't know. man.
TSA man.
TSA man. He they're like,
Everyone's like,
yeah.
Fucking hell.
Sorry, quick little.
I hope he was too afraid to watch it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. About the say that guy. Because I know who you're talking about. The one who works at TSA.
Yeah.
This is really random.
He's so funny,
But-
man. He's so
so-
funny. What's the actor's name? I can't remember.
His name's like Lil Ray Howie or something like that.
That's the one.
So he works at TSA.
Mhm.
And you know, remember Dina from Girls Trip? In the film, she works at TSA. In the Carmichael show, those two are ex-husband and wife, and Dina also works at TSA in that show as well. Very random, but sorry, carry on.
Okay.
So-
Oh, well, why don't we talk about Girls Trip then?
Sure.
So we saw that. Give us a little synopsis.
These four women?
For
Four women who were best friends in college, kind of grow apart. So then they decide to go on a girls' trip to New Orleans. And yeah, so they go through some weird stuff happens.
so funny.
Some funny stuff happens.
So like the main character is Regina Hall.
Gina Hall, yeah.
And she's like a kind of
She's awful,
author. She's a TV chat show
Personality,
host,
yeah.
and then she's married to Luke Cage, but he's a prick. And
Luke
then,
Cage is a superhero.
yeah. Well, yeah. Pretty much.
Mike's up.
I don't think he has any other voice apart from his Luke Cage voice, which is probably his normal voice. But
Yeah,
either way,
that's definitely the voice.
it's not really acting, is it? But anyway, and yeah, so they're having kind of problems, and she needs to reconnect with her friends, including Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett and Tiffany Haddish. Is that her name? What did you think then?
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah?
I thought that.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
I thought that. Like right at the start of the film, I actually thought that. Oh, crap, what's his name? Luke Cage. I can't remember his name.
Mike Coulter.
Yeah,
This is
that's
the actor's name.
I thought he was going to be gay. Like secretly
Oh,
gay.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was. Well, maybe he's going to get caught with a man, but obviously he's not. He's a woman. Gets caught with a woman. But yeah, the film's really funny. I would describe it as a American black female version of The Inbetweeners. Like,
Okay.
because it
Have
is
you seen
just.
Do you agree with that, Glenn?
I agree with that
No.
because
No,
a lot of
no.
people compared it to The Hangover, but I feel like the comedy in this is more gross out than The
Yeah.
Hangover.
What about
and
Bridesmaids?
This is better than Bridesmaids,
Okay.
and it's more gross out as well.
Yeah,
What's it-
Bridesmaids-
sorry,
Bridesmaids
what does that
was
mean?
shit.
So gross out is in like there's a set piece in this where
It's crude.
two of the
okay.
two of the women are kind of ziplining across from one building to another, and Jada Pinkett needs the toilet and she gets stuck in the middle of the zip wire and she just pisses everywhere
Like
and it's
spray.
like fountain of like piss, and then Dino, who's played by Tiffany, just comes after her and it's like, I'm gonna beat that, and just like empties this like ice bucket challenge, just like piss everywhere, and it was just like it's one of those things.
It's honestly, I think you should actually watch it. It's really funny.
what's
It's
it
really
called?
funny.
Girls Trip. And I think what
Really
makes it
funny.
funnier is the fact that you don't expect women to do this.
Misogynist?
No, I mean it's like
It's like act like a lady.
yeah,
So
all
it's
these
like very
kind of
different.
like comedies tend to be
Yeah.
focused around men, and when
Yeah.
they are focused around women, which they have been more recently, they're kind of they are gross out and crude, but
Yeah.
not to this level. This is like in between, like you said, in
Like
between
in
is crude when Jay's kind of like getting sucked off every day of the
Yeah.
week, blah blah blah.
But like, I think this film's been really, really popular amongst women because it just kind of shows that like women can be funny, women can have fun. The way so many men have fun as well. It doesn't have to be like a different
Yeah.
sort of humour. It can be the same humour and it can still be funny.
Also, what's important about it is the fact that, again, with Bridesmaids and Bad Mums, it's women, but it's white women, and you don't see
That's
black women do this either, do you? Or
Yeah.
women of, women of like, non-white ethnicities.
Yeah.
So again, that's quite important. And it was packed when we saw
Yeah,
it.
yeah. It was sold out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
sold out.
we saw it on like day 4 of its release, so it's been very, very popular. And yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's going to be the complete antithesis of Rough
Rough
Night,
Night,
which
yeah.
is the Scarlett Johansson one, which looks absolutely terrible. But there's just like some really funny things in Girls Trip where like, Jada Pinkett's playing this like really kind of prudish woman, really innocent. She's like a mum, she's a nurse, and then she kind of hooks up with this young hunky guy who's got this like huge dick, and she grapefruits him. She leaves like 2 grapefruits. She sticks grapefruits on his dick, and she's like, wow, tossing him off, and
then she gets grapefruit juice in his knob, and he's like running around screaming like.
and then she starts tripping out because they take drugs.
Oh, that was so.
And then they're in a club, and she sees.
I don't remember any of this from the trailer.
She sees an image. She sees an image of this guy naked on this screen, and she starts going up to it, trying to like suck it off, and it's.
There's a bit where, so like the grapefruit bit with Dina, and she like demonstrates, because obviously she's like, oh yeah, you need to grapefruit, and they're all like, what's that? And she demonstrates it, yeah, and she's like bare calm, just like said, oh, you need to cut a hole in the grapefruit first, and then she said, I'm gonna pretend this banana is penis or something like that. She puts it through the hole, and she just starts going to town on this banana, like just pretending that it's a knob. And she goes like it's literally like because you don't expect it. It's so like I'm just watching it. I was just like laughing. Like it's so ridiculous.
Have you seen the original video of that?
No.
Of that woman doing it. There's
No.
an actual woman that does it.
Really?
Really?
That's
Yeah.
where they've got it from.
So there's
I
that,
think I know
and then
what
there
you're
was
talking about.
that same bit with when they're in the club and they were tripping out when Queen Latifah was like kissing, or she thought she was kissing the guy. Really, she was just like dry humming a lamp. When they were like, "Oh, how are we gonna get all the way over there?" And they're just standing there running. Oh man, that's a really good film. You should go.
Did you not feel it was a little bit long?
Yeah, it's
and-
like 2 hours 20.
And maybe it was a
something
bit too. Well,
like.
way
Like
it
20
treated-
minutes too long.
It had some serious subject matter. Did you feel like it treated it a bit too kind of
What?
heavy-handedly?
Infidelity? Or
Well, just in terms of like there was a lot of comedy and then a little bit of seriousness. Like was the seriousness, did it
It
balance
was
well?
a comedy,
or-
wasn't it? It was a comedy
comedy,
film. So.
I thought it was okay. I thought the way they handled it was fine. I don't really think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, it was a bit like
Sounds like the comedy outweighs the.
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
Seriousness.
well far outweighs.
But doesn't a lot of comedy films do that? A lot of comedy films like brush over the seriousness of it all, really.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I felt the I do think it ran just a little bit longer.
Ratings out of 10 for the both of you.
8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 as well.
Okay,
Fair
that's
play.
pretty high.
It was
For what it is, I'll
Did
give
you
it an
expect
8.
that?
No, not at
No.
all. I thought
That's
it would be
good.
funny. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it was.
Talking to all these people, have you seen that James Corden's doing the carpool karaoke on iTunes?
No.
Do you know what carpool? Does everyone know what
Yeah.
carpool?
Yeah.
He's doing like an iTunes carpool karaoke series, and
Mm.
Will Smith's the first one,
Mm.
and all these four are in one as well.
Oh really?
But I haven't seen it because you can only see a snippet on YouTube. But it actually looks quite funny.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
something you might want to watch.
Yeah.
But completely going off topic, has everyone seen the trailer for American Vandal?
No, what is it?
It sounds shit.
Oh, you haven't? I think you guys have. We were chatting about it.
It's
Oh, I was
like-
in Cornwall on
It's
the
like
weekend.
a fake documentary. Well, it might be real. I don't know, but this guy definitely didn't do it. But it's a documentary, inverted commas, or air quotes, whatever you want to say, and it's basically of this person who draws penises on loads of different and like vandalises cars with penises, and this guy gets blamed for it and he gets kicked out of school, and it's this whole documentary trying to unravel who actually did it because it wasn't actually this guy.
It's like different day, different dick.
And
It looks so fucking stupid. I don't know why they're making. Like, if it's an actual series or.
I think it's a series.
I don't know who thought of it, and they have clearly run out of stories to come up with this.
Does it look bad?
It looks
It looks
funny.
so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
Okay.
It's a Viner as well.
Vine?
A Viner is the main character in it.
Oh right. Is this what network?
Netflix.
Oh.
Netflix
okay.
original series.
What Viner is it?
Have you ever seen the one where they have like what's the thing we have sex on a plane when it's flying?
Mile
High.
Have you seen the guy and the girl do the Mile High Club kind of thing, and they pretend to have a fight and then go into the toilet cubicle?
I've seen that.
Yeah, it's that guy.
He's the. He's in 22 Jump Street as well. He's like one of the jocks.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the one with the red mohawk.
Oh yes, Red
Okay.
Mohawk jock.
But no, I don't never watch
I think-
vines of people that
But-
pass me by.
You've seen 22 Jump Street, though.
I have. I don't remember the guy.
I don't remember the guy. Yeah, they haven't even got his name.
No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Probably
you're
got.
useless, aren't you?
I haven't even watched it, but by the sounds of it, it looks like something I would not
Yeah.
enjoy, so I won't be watching
I'll let
it.
you know,
Have you
mate.
watched Wet Hot American Summer yet?
No, I haven't.
Rubbish.
Don't.
That is your humour.
Yeah,
That
actually,
is your
yeah,
humour.
you might
Yeah.
like that actually.
You'll like it. I hate
How many
it.
seasons is it on? 3? Because I
Yeah.
think I've
There's
seen
a
one and a
film-
half.
there's
Such a negative
There's a
Nelly,
film,
aren't you?
and then there's a film. And
There's a film.
Yeah, there's a film, and then the first series they brought out was a prequel to the film, and then this one they brought out was 10 years after the film.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I've watched quite a bit of it, and I just put it on the background, and I watched a bit of it, and there was funny parts, and then there was other parts where I was like, oh, it's a bit boring, but
But
kind
the,
of thing.
the thing because I've seen 2 episodes of the new series, which is set 10 years later. The thing that I found really funny about it is the fact that it's quite meta. That so there's a part in episode 2 where one of the characters is talking about, so tell me the story behind your love of blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's like, oh yeah, and then she gets distracted and she's like, I'll tell you later. And he goes, okay, and he looks at the camera and goes, episode 4. And it's just like, I just find it really funny because it's kind of like, you know that it's going to happen later, but it's just so self-referential that I don't know, I just
Yeah.
burst out laughing at that point.
I wrote
Fair
a note,
play.
so I'm going to watch it
You
later.
should. So
Wet
right,
Hot
the
American
way
Summer.
I watched
Cool
it,
Rudd and all of that.
Yeah.
I watched the First Day of Camp TV series first, and then I watched the film, and then I started watching 10 years later. But
I think
That's
I've
do with it
only
what
watched
you
I've
will.
only watched 10 years
do with
later.
what you
So
will. The film was released first.
talking of a film, Netflix, I watched Breakfast Club the other day.
Yeah, that's a great
really
film.
I
good.
think that's
I
a
mean, it's a
really,
really
good
good
film. I mean, the only bit, and like I was saying this over when I first mentioned I watched it, the only bit that cheesed me off a little bit was the ending, but that's how all films used to end back in the day, like a love
Yeah.
romance kind of thing. Like these two people that barely even spoke were like getting off, and then these two people who the love story could have seen
Yeah.
happening got off, and then the other guy. Yeah.
Forget about it.
It's fucking. It was deep though. There
Proud
were
of you
points
for
in
watching
it.
a film pre-2000.
Yeah. And it's deep though. It was proper deep at points, and then there was
Yeah.
like the comical points and like.
Absolute classic.
And
I
there's
really enjoyed
questions like this guy would put forward questions to these other people, and you'd think, oh right, okay, yeah,
yeah,
interesting,
that was good.
that kind of
It's
thing.
good.
So,
And,
yeah.
Did it change your life philosophically?
No.
So what
So,
they reference
Chris
a
is
lot
now
in
thinking
Pitch
about-
Perfect,
Hmm?
isn't it? They reference that a lot in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Your fave.
As one of the best scored films of all time.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well,
probably
the end song is brilliant, isn't it? Should add that to our Your Average Critics Spotify playlist if I haven't already, which you can follow us at Your Average Critics.
we have a Spotify playlist.
We do, yeah.
God, you're in control of it.
We're a
Oh.
brand, mate. We're a powerhouse.
What the fuck do we have on our Spotify playlist?
Just
He's the one controlling it, and that's what worries
Go with the
me.
flow, guys. Go.
songs of films, man. I thought you
Is
knew
it
the
just like
ins and
songs
outs.
that we talk about?
No,
during-
just songs from films. So you
That's good,
you
that's
don't have like
not a lot.
Quavo on it. Or,
Lord of the Rings soundtrack, that better be on there then.
sorry, can't find that on Spotify.
Oh.
Let's talk also about a film called Detroit, which I saw the other
Why
day.
don't you talk about that one? No one else has seen it. You could have talked about Atomic Blonde. You could talk
I've not
about
seen
anything.
Top Blonde. I'm going to talk about Detroit.
But only Ollie has seen something.
I'm not going to spoil Detroit because I know that Obi wants to see it, and I know that some of you might see it. Because I thought,
I thought it wasn't out yet.
Wow,
Well,
racist.
Special preview or something, wasn't it?
well, that's the thing. So
Check this guy out.
I was on Odeon's booking app, and I had a spare evening. I was going to go and watch Valerian, and then I saw it said Detroit Last Chance to See. I was like, oh crap, it's already come out. So I went to see it, and then realised a couple of days later it was an advanced screening. So
Does that mean that you potentially missed scenes that they would have in the full one?
no, because it comes out in like a week. It's like the 25th or something. It comes out. But anyway, so I'll give you a little bit of a lowdown. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Oh, Glenn, don't spoil anything.
I'm not.
He literally just said it.
But didn't he say that at that time? When, what's the film we were watching? And
Fast and Furious.
yeah, and he was like, "I'm not gonna spoil it," and he literally said something, and we were like, "Come on, mate, you just."
No, you're the one who usually spoils it.
That's true.
But I say I'm gonna spoil it.
No, you don't. Usually you're just like, oh shit, that was a spoiler.
Well, at least, yeah, right. Well, at least I forgive myself for it. He says he hasn't spoiled what he has.
My
so.
dad spoiled The Sopranos for me. So none of you watch it, do you? So it's like a gangster TV show. Apparently it's great. And then my dad was like, "Have you got to bit where Chris dies yet?" And I was like,
Chris, do you watch it? Stop talking about it then.
"I literally just asked."
Yeah, and you didn't say
Yeah, you,
anything.
you didn't even let me finish before you started talking about it.
Did you hear what I just said?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So I
Stop,
told
just
my-
don't say just don't
Alright.
say
Well,
Spoiler
fine.
alert.
No, don't worry. Anyway, so Detroit is the story of riots in Detroit in the 60s.
Is this after Rodney King, isn't it?
It's
Rodney
not
King's
because of
in the
that,
90s.
no.
Oh.
in LA.
So you get like, so it starts off with people in a club and then they get arrested, and then this sparks violence. And
That's the whole riot.
well, that's what incites the riot. And then this
Fair
film
enough.
kind of supposedly chronologizes or no, presents what happened. It's kind of presented in the way of like, this is the truth and this truth
Right.
has not been seen before.
Right.
And you know, obviously, I think we've all seen the trailer where it's kind of Will Poulter and John Boyega, and they're kind of in this. It's a motel room, lobby, and there's a lot of people up against the wall, and they're trying to find out
Someone
who-
died.
Gun, wasn't it?
who's shooting.
Yeah.
So it's tense.
Are they on the same team? John Boyega and Will Porter.
I thought, because I saw, I think, another trailer where he's in an interrogation room, and there's two, like, I think it's like, must be FBI, because they're in like suits.
Who's
and
in the interrogation room?
John Boyega.
Okay.
And they're like, you carry a 38, don't you? And they're like, tell us what happened. And he's like, I'm telling you what happened. Like, I don't know, I think, like, maybe he's getting blamed for something that
Well,
happened.
all I'm going to say is that it basically presents what it feels is the truth, and it doesn't really, for me, comment too much on the implications of this, which I think is to its detriment. It's obviously a very kind of contentious subject matter, especially with what's happened in Charlottesville over the last couple of days. So it's kind of like inherent racism by the fact that these white cops are assuming that these black civilians are, you know, responsible for shootings, and that they're I mean, there's no doubt in their mind that they're guilty. One of them is guilty, and they'll do anything to try and get the truth, or quote unquote truth.
Yeah.
So it kind of presents that story, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it did the subject matter justice. I don't know the subject matter very at all,
No.
but I feel like it was there to be commented on, and for me, it doesn't comment on it, and it doesn't utilize some of the main actors in it.
I thought you said issues. That's what we uploaded. Yeah.
Well, so
Would you recommend looking up about this Detroit
yeah, I want to be fair.
thing before? Would it be beneficial to us if we looked up and found out a bit more stuff about it before we went to watch this film? Or
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things that you should probably research afterwards.
okay.
I mean, for me, because if you research and know a lot about it, and then you go into the film, you'll be like, that didn't happen, or that's an exaggeration, and so it'll probably actually make you think the film's even worse.
Nice, yeah.
So I thought the film was too long. It was a bit all over the place.
How long is the film?
2.5 hours.
Oh, flipping!
I kind of feel like it could have been 3 films, or it could have been like a 3-part TV series.
Yeah.
There's kind of like 3 distinct, even genres within it.
Yeah. Well, then that begs the point. Like, are we now saying this because all films are like split up into 3 just because, or are you saying it because?
No,
It
I
was
mean,
just such
when
a
you
long
watch
film.
it, like, it'll be interesting to see if you feel the same, but there are 3 distinct kind of, I know acts, obviously, but they're all tonally very different. I'm not going to say what they are, but that the bit that you see in the trailer is tonally not the same as throughout the film. So watch it, and then we can talk about it in less vague terms, but I probably wouldn't recommend it, but
Okay.
I know that you should see it because I'm talk about it.
Yeah, no.
And plus it doesn't cost you anything.
I was going to say, talking about the 3 segments, it's kind of segueing into it.
Segue king.
I'm not a segue king, so this is like probably not a segue whatsoever.
Right.
So forgive me. But I've been thinking about Avatar 2, 3 and 4, how they're going to bring back, the villain is going to be the same villain for all 3 films.
I heard that's
And-
going to follow exactly like straight after the
Left
first
off,
film.
yeah. And apparently they're going to bring back the lady who died, who's like the older lady.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, they're going to bring her back as well for all 3
Did she
films.
die?
She like
Sigourney
dies
Weaver?
just before they're going to put their things together, and
God, I'd actually...
At this point, who cares?
No one gives a fuck.
I don't want to see another Avatar film. The first one was not obviously
It was
well overrated.
it was
Yeah.
visually amazing.
Visually, it was fantastic.
Visually
But the
amazing.
actual story.
Was
yeah,
dog
it
shit.
was nah.
Yeah,
I nearly fell asleep in that film and everyone was raving. I was like, really? And apparently there's beef between Josh Brolin and the James Cameron, apparently. Because apparently James Cameron wanted Josh and Josh was like, nah.
Oh, right.
And then James Cameron's been like slating him for it and he's like,
But then
well,
if he signed up for that, that's like 25 years of his life he's got to commit to making like one film.
that as well as Deadpool and
Yeah.
Avengers.
But I feel like it's no longer in the public mind anymore.
Yeah,
the fact
no,
that
it
the
ain't.
first film came out almost 10 years ago, and it's like...
It's only been 10 years. God, it feels like an absolute lifetime ago.
Yeah,
honestly.
and I'm not being funny, but like I know it was a pioneer for its time in terms of 3D, but unless they're doing something better than War of the Planet of the Apes visually,
Yeah.
it's not going to be very good.
True.
Like the benchmark is just getting more and more and more
Yeah.
like ramped up. I mean, even like when you see the trailers for Valerian, like visually,
Is anyone gonna watch that? Sorry.
I probably will.
I want to watch it.
Oh, let me know when you go
I
then.
feel like it's gonna be
Yeah,
crap.
mine
I
too.
might
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
it.
I
Yeah.
reckon
watch
it's-
it.
It looks like a cheap version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
But it's based on a
Yeah.
really good book though, so maybe.
Yeah.
It's got quite bad reviews.
Has it?
Has it?
I think visually, it's gonna be one of those films that looks better than actually will be. I
It'll
mean,
be another
Dane DeHaan-
Avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, have any of you seen the trailer for Avengers that got leaked?
Got leaked, yeah.
Have you all seen it?
Yeah.
Is this the same one that they showed at Comic Con?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
It's
that.
quite long-winded. There's an extra one where it has all the written writing on the side and it actually explains what's happening in each scene.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are we
I'm
gonna
excited,
mention? Has everyone seen it? Are we gonna talk
Yeah.
about it or?
We
I
can-
want to quickly jump back to what you guys
Oh, go on,
were
yeah.
just talking about.
Go on.
So you were saying
Anything
how
to not talk about Avengers.
yeah, literally, cut my own hand off. So you're talking about like a film that is visually like spectacular and you love it.
Lord of
I'd
the Rings,
rather see like just a film that's like pretty basic, like split
Yeah.
in a few rooms, good acting.
Great
I
story.
thought you were talking
Win
about
it.
Split then for a minute.
No.
Oh, I thought
But
you
no,
said
no. I was
Oh,
just using Split as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, you were. Oh right.
So like Valerian, it might not have a good rating, and yeah, it looks amazing, but when it comes down to it, you know,
Wouldn't mind just a great story,
Yeah,
good
man.
acting.
it's just like
Boss man, isn't it?
whatevs.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that the visuals the story should be first, and then
Yeah.
the visuals complement it.
Can you think of any films that visually aren't great, but the actual story is quite good?
God, I wish you'd give me some notes on this.
I'll say the original Planet of the Apes visually wasn't very good at all.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah, but
because of
was
the
it-
times.
So
I was gonna say, was it visually good at the time?
probably, at the time,
Yeah.
probably found it was probably like state of the
But
art.
that,
Like, oh my god, everyone monkeys! They do that!
Adam was telling me that apparently, I don't know, Ben, you might know this because you know like a lot about film. Apparently, like the first ever film, it was like 15 seconds, and it just
was a train going towards the screen.
and then people started running out,
yeah.
No, people
and
were,
like throwing up.
people were petrified because they'd never seen anything like this.
That's
no.
hilarious.
I mean, could you imagine not seeing anything, a film, completely, and then just seeing a train come towards you from a massive screen?
Nah, because if you're
Fuck
like,
that shit.
if you go to a cinema where
Why are
there's like
people
a fucking
vomiting, though?
building and then
Why
the
are you
other side
vomiting,
of the
though?
Because
building,
they're in danger.
Why are you-
felt that they were in danger.
That's make you vom though.
They-
You in danger? Do you throw up?
They was
Wow.
they was terrified.
Don't know, you're in that much danger,
They
mate.
were about to be run over by a train.
That's not make you throw up though.
People were being sick when Exorcist was first shown.
Fair enough.
That is pretty messed up, though. To be fair. I don't know what to say.
There is a film, again, one of the very early films by Georges Méliès, and it's called A Voyage to the Moon, and there's
Oh,
a
God.
guy who's got, like, his face is painted grey, and there's like a cardboard cut of the moon, and then you see on string this rocket go into his eye, and obviously it's like really, it's from like the 1800s, so it's like centuries old, but that's what you look at it now, you think that's so shit, but back then it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But visually, so good but not visually good. Is that?
Yeah.
should we write this down?
Yeah.
I think
Let's
this
think
is a
about
question
that.
for next time.
Yeah. Good
So,
question.
good film, but not visually good.
Yeah.
At their time. So like you can't just have like
Yeah, that's
Scarface
fine,
because
that's
that's like poor effects, but obviously
Yeah, that's
then
the
it's
thing,
like-
isn't it? Good
So, we'll
question.
think about that another time.
Okay.
Will we all have seen by the end of next week The Defenders?
No.
Is it all coming out in one hit?
Yeah, on the it's 18th.
18th.
Probably
Is
not,
it
to be
18th?
honest.
Yeah.
18th, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably not gonna.
It was only 8 episodes, so maybe
How
I'll
many?
It's only 8.
Was it?
Yes, maybe I will watch all of
Yeah,
them.
I'll probably smash it before it's
Yeah,
done.
but it's going to be like an hour episode, though, isn't it?
45 minutes probably.
Christmas
No,
is
probably
like
that. Probably
You think?
that now, yeah.
I'll
Netflix
smash
just
it.
to do that,
ad
mate.
breaks.
8 hours, that's easy, mate. That's easy.
That's one night.
Yeah, mate, let's get up at 7, finish by 3. That's easy, mate.
I know what you're doing next Saturday. innit?
Yeah, you do, mate.
It's probably on a work day. Like, how you getting on with that? Oh, yeah. It's the things to do.
Okay. Well, a film which I thought looked visually quite cool because of its grey palette was Atomic Blonde. I've
Yeah.
not seen it, but give us a lowdown.
So I saw it last night. It was a pretty good film, actually. Female leads, the lesbian scene that I was
Nice.
like shouting
Nice.
to. I was like cheering. So it's following, like, I don't know what you get when you get an agent, a double agent. Like, can you get a triple agent?
Yeah.
Quadruple agent? What's
Yeah.
after a quadruple
Quintuple.
agent? Quintuple. And it just
Inception.
keeps going.
Oh, really?
And it just keeps going. So, like, this film follows the time of the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. But it's not following that story. It's following a totally different story. That's not really. It's just happening
At that time, yeah.
at that time in that place. So it's not really got anything to do with it. But it's essentially a list has come about of secret agents' names and like their identities and who they are and what they've done.
Okay.
So like the CIA are involved, the MI6, the KGB. They're all trying to get this list to, like, obviously like the MI6 want it back because I think it was originally their list, and obviously they don't want the KGB to get it because then probably everyone's going to get killed on that list. And so they send out I can't even remember the character's name now.
What, the
Blonde.
lead?
Yeah, the blonde. They send out Blondie.
It's Shirley.
Charlize Theron.
That's the one.
But I can't remember her character's name.
Charlize
I can't
Theron.
remember.
Sorry, Karen.
I can't remember her character's name, but they send her out pretty much to get a list. But it turns out to be like a bluff, double bluff, agent, double agent, triple agent kind of thing. So you've got all the different sides coming in with like her contact. You got a French secret agent service coming in along with the KGB, and so there's a lot of twists. It's
turns.
really, really good. A few turns, left, right,
Yeah.
up and down. Did you turn up?
Turn up. Sorry, carry on.
Turn up for what? Oh shit.
And it had a sweet soundtrack because it was like.
Was it 80s?
Have we ever asked that question? What film do you think has the best soundtrack?
Well, this had George Michael at
Lucky
one point.
Two.
Bar
and I
Lion
was like,
Kings
boom.
or Guardians of the Galaxies?
What's the point?
Don't
What's the point? I'll do the question.
say that.
Grease?
It's a good show. Can we count musicals?
Let's not count musicals.
Then we're just narrowing it down.
Yeah.
That's another one we have to come back to.
I was only just asking.
Right,
whether
no,
we'd
no.
actually
Put
ask
it in the WhatsApp
Speaking of,
chat.
I like Power's soundtrack.
Yeah, it's decent,
Decent
isn't it?
soundtrack.
They played one of KSI songs.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. At the end credits. Sorry, Ollie. We completely ignored Ollie. Ollie, so carry on.
Luke Cage did it.
Did he? Oh, yeah, he
Wait,
did.
I'm out of
Sorry,
it. Wait, I'm leaving it. I was like,
Sorry, mate.
I was giving my spiel about this film.
You are an atomic blonde, so carry on.
Fuck me.
Sorry, Ollie. Let's go back to
double agent, you? Triple
Yeah,
agent.
we went off on a tangent, Ollie. We apologise. It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Okay, you're talking about the good soundtrack.
Good soundtrack. Yeah. So I mean, it was a pretty gruesome film, like John Wick. So you'd like it, Joe.
Okay, cool.
And there was like, it seemed like it was all in one take. This like one fight scene. It was fucking gruesome as shit. Like, it was quite funny though, some parts. And fuck, what was the last thing I was gonna say? I don't know. It was like a 7.4, 7.6.
Good ending.
Good.
A 7.4 or a 7.6?
Yeah, like between that, you know.
So 7.5.
Well, it could be a 7.4, 7.6.
We only work in decimals of 5, Ollie.
Man, nah, man.
Yeah, that's alright.
That's underrated.
So is it John Wick-esque? Because it is directed by the co-director of John Wick.
The action scenes are definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Because you're saying like it's kind of like different agencies of like service people.
Yeah, like
Do
undercover.
you reckon it would be in the same kind of world as John Wick?
Female John Wick, innit?
Yeah, it's kind of like a female John Wick / Jason Bourne.
Would you want them to cross over?
Nah, probably not, because
Nah.
John Wick's just like insane, isn't he?
Ah, he's brilliant.
We watched that actually on holiday, me and Joe.
We did watch.
John Wick.
John Wick.
2.
John Wick 2.
One. I
We
put
watched
on
one.
2, but I was like, fuck that.
Are you guys going to see it something one then or not?
I would like to, yeah.
I would like to
I'll
as well.
probably see it eventually.
Cool.
Let me know when you're going to see it. I might come.
Cool. I also saw The Big Sick, which is a fairly recent release. So this is a
rom-com?
rom-com.
Oh, Glenn.
I love rom-com.
I think I hope I don't get his name wrong, but it's Camille Nanjiani. He's the guy who wrote it and stars in it. He's in Silicon Valley, which is a TV show if anyone watches that. It's kind of a like autobiographical dramedy about him, the way him and his wife, his wife now met, and the story of their kind of relationship. And his relationship with her parents. It's kind of one of those.
Is it based on true?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So him and his wife actually wrote it, but it's just his wife is played by an actual actress rather than, I think his wife's just a producer in real life. But so it's kind of this sweet rom-com, kind of like culture clashes because he's from a Muslim Pakistani family and she's just kind of like a white woman from America, but he's very much a fish out of water with his family, so like he doesn't really adhere to he's not a practicing Muslim.
He's not a good Muslim, basically.
No, he feels like he's like American.
Right.
Like so there's a point in the film where his mum says when he keeps their relationship a secret for a long time because he feels that he would be disowned by his family if he doesn't marry a Muslim woman. Eventually his parents find out and they say, "Oh, you're not my son." And his mum says to him, "All I wanted was you to be a good Muslim boy and marry a Pakistani woman. That's all I've asked from you." And then he says to her, "Well, why did you bring me to America if you didn't want me to, have an Americanized life?" Which is quite a kind of philosophical question. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like it that much. No, it wasn't that funny. So I feel like Camille Nanjiani in Silicon Valley is very funny, but it's the fact that everything he says is very sarcastic and very deadpan. And when he was trying to do actual kind of serious kind of speeches or, when he was trying to be serious, it didn't come across like that. It kind of felt like he was taking the piss. He'd be like, "Oh my God, you're really hurt. Oh, I hope you get better." And I was just like, I was like, are you taking the mick or are you trying to be serious? And he has one of these faces that he's always kind of looks like he's smirking. And again, that just made it feel like kind of detracted from the actual dramedy of it. And yeah, the comedy wasn't that funny. And the acting wasn't great. So, I mean, it's got very good reviews, but
8.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
Would you recommend it?
Nah, it was probably about 6.
Fair enough.
It's an interesting story because you don't often get to see these like culture clash relationships. You don't get to see like an autobiographical viewpoint of like
Bend It Like Beckham.
I've not seen that. No,
This doesn't sound like a film
get
you'd go and see.
Get out.
I wanted
Get
to
out.
see it.
No. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm not allowing
But the
that.
fact that it's written from his perspective about his experiences is interesting because you don't see that a lot on film. But I just feel like it wasn't as good as everyone's making out.
Fair play. Cool.
What else have we been watching?
Me, Joe, Ollie watched maybe Obi. Did you watch it? The Mummy?
I didn't watch it.
No, I don't know where you were. Probably by the pool.
I caught the last 20 minutes
Oh,
of it.
I saw it. Did you watch it?
I've already seen it in the cinema.
Mate, I thought it was actually alright.
Really?
It wasn't good. Don't get me wrong. It was alright. It was I suppose it's a
What
stepping
do you rate it?
stone.
Like 7.4, 7.3?
More like 6.2, 6.3.
26.9 and 7.1.
Yeah. But like, it's a stepping stone, isn't it? So if they do continue the franchise, which it seems a bit sceptical at the moment.
Well, yeah. Do you reckon they are? Are they going to?
Yeah.
Well, they made more than they spent, but whether that determines they should continue is another thing. Because they open with saying it's the dark verse, don't they?
Yeah.
And then they have Jekyll and Hyde in it as well.
Yeah.
Which I
They've
was
got
like,
Vampire Skull.
Vampire
Yeah.
Skull. I mean, all these little bits that they had in there, I thought were good, but then at the same time, I was like, were they really necessary? But I suppose they just wanted to connect loads of dots, didn't they?
Yeah.
I assume Frankenstein's in this world. I assume who else?
The werewolf.
Wolfman, yeah.
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Just any monsters.
the Invisible Man. Basically, anyone from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes.
The Invisible Man.
Yeah.
But
But it seems,
Life
like
would be
it
tough.
seems like everyone's doing that whole cinematic universe now.
well, this is it. Like, I think they're the film. I don't know what to say. Like, if you compare it to The Mummy, it's absolute trash.
As in the original Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Are
you
we
say-
talking about the 90s version? Because the original Mummy's from the 30s.
Oh, fuck yourself. The 90s. The 90s one.
I'm
Ben
so-
Fraser.
Who's
yeah,
heard about
I was
that?
talking about the one with
Oh,
Brendan Fraser, and that's what I was talking
We
about.
like that.
Glenn, I
Um,
feel bad for you, man. Jeez.
can't have all this knowledge.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
But
Jeez.
like, it's an okay film. Like the way they discover everything's fine, and like how he's a bit of a double crosser in
Do you think
real
Tom
life.
Cruise was the right person for that?
No,
Nah.
no, and that guy who is a new girl as well, not the right guy to
Oh,
play
he was
that.
crap.
Wow, I can't say that about Nick Miller.
Well,
You can.
okay,
He was terrible.
he was.
Which one was that?
I'm not sure it
His
was.
mate who keeps appearing dead.
I'm not sure whether it was his fault
Yeah,
that he
that's
was
around.
terrible, or that just having that part in it was terrible.
There was no need for him to keep coming back and.
There was no need for him to be there full stop.
No.
And then the fact at the end, which
He was a vampire.
everyone inevitably saw coming, was that Tom Cruise overcame this possession. Well,
Well,
Kind
the
of.
irony is that he didn't overcome it because he did eventually get stabbed
And he's still,
Yeah.
he's
by
still
it
the
and
mummy.
it turned into this fucking monster.
Yeah.
Or set or.
now he's
god of-
gallivanting around
God of
wherever.
something.
Who knows? And they're like, he's a villain that could be our hero later on down the line, maybe kind of
Yeah.
situation.
There's a film that came out about 3 years ago called Dracula Untold. That was supposed to be the
Yeah.
beginning of the Dark Universe.
Oh, really?
And it did so badly that
Oh,
they
really?
just decided to reboot it.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
I thought it was alright. It wasn't. Again, it wasn't.
didn't mind
It, was,
it.
it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't one where I'd say go and watch it. But I heard like quite a few people give it good reviews. But maybe it just didn't get enough publicity.
Maybe
Would
I
it
should-
be? You could do Dracula now on a modern take of like Dr. Acula on Tinder, innit? And it's like meeting someone like biting their necks. Sorry, wait, I'll write the fucking script for this one.
Yeah, trademark that, Oliver.
You can't trademark it, it's already been done. Well, that was accurate.
Yeah.
That's copyright already. It's scrum.
Oh, right. Oh, fair enough. God,
Fucking hell.
We are
get-
plagiarists.
At
get
least
sued.
someone was on the ball with that
You're
one. Because the
plagiarist.
rest of us would have gone with it. But yeah, Mummy. 6.4.
Oh, God, can we just stick to decimal place of 5, please?
6.3. 6.3. Let's do that. Yeah.
6.3.
We're not IMDb, we're not aggregating all these scores. Just give it a We'll stick to integers if you want.
This is our unique factor, mate. We give 6.35s if we feel like it.
I think that's my Uber rating. Okay. Obi, give us an update on some of the TV series you're watching.
No, don't do
So, Power?
Power. I'll try not to spoil it for Joe, because Joe just got into it.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, Joe, tell me what you think.
And
of
me,
it first.
mate.
And yeah, but Joe just got into it.
Well,
He's
I'm
ahead of me.
ahead of him.
Are you?
I'm on
When
season
did you
three.
start watching it though?
When-
Season 3?
Season 3, episode 2. I started watching it basically as soon as we got back. I really like it.
It's sick, isn't
I
it?
really
Hey,
like
Oh,
it.
what did you just say? As soon as we got back. So what was that? Wednesday.
Was that 4 days? 5
Yeah.
days?
Well, I started on Thursday. I've been,
Chris, you watched
I know,
that?
I've been
impressed,
banging it
I'm
out.
impressed,
I've been
I'm
banging it
impressed.
out.
It's
I
so
really
good.
like it.
It's so good.
What's so good
What is
about
it
it,
about?
Joe?
What is it about? Is it
So,
superhero?
Sex,
No.
drug, and kind of rock and roll.
Yeah, it's mainly about 2 guys, one called Ghost, one called Tommy, and they basically have a drug trafficking business. So they
This
get
is why you watch it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they-
I see.
they get-
writing hints down.
Why he
It's like,
watches
got
it? Because it's sex in every episode. That's why he watches it.
every
mate.
episode. You see titties all the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, they
Tick them strong.
basically they're the middleman between the drug geezer and the distributors, and basically you just follow their story of ups and downs, them getting caught in shit with other drug dealers, but
Ghost having
a
an
bit-
affair.
Ghost
Yeah,
having an
The
affair.
guy's having an affair with one of the ladies who's trying to take down this whole drug ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he doesn't know
But
it.
he doesn't know.
It's
She doesn't
being
know.
moved.
She doesn't know that he's
yeah.
But you're up to the bit where I'm assuming they must have clocked on after what? Season 5, is it?
season 4.
They must have clocked on now. Otherwise they're bare done.
What the Ghost and Angie know who each other are?
Mm.
I'm up to that.
Yeah.
Alright, season 3
I'll
then.
just check
Cool.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
That's
like
that's
the
midway
party.
through season 2.
Okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then I must be catching up then, because I'm sure I've either finished season 1, started season 2, or I'm just about to finish season 1.
Yeah.
It's too many seasons, man.
24.
No, I mean like in general, like in everything to watch.
Because you're watching too many
Did
things.
it?
When
But
is
yeah.
it?
Who
Sorry.
isn't, mate? Who isn't these days, mate?
So, how is it going for you? Like, where are you up to? And
So
Not too much.
Consider his eyes, he's gutted, mate.
So no, well. So,
I get updates on
what's
the Arsenal
You
WhatsApp
have no idea what
channel.
you're talking about. So okay. I'm not gonna spoil it for Joe. So
Joe,
I'm just-
go
I'm
wait
just-
outside again.
I'm just gonna say what I think of the season so far. So I think season 4 has been really good. I think all three seasons before so far have been better. I think the writing has gotten super sloppy. Like
To be fair, I can see that in season 3.
super sloppy. Like to the
In
point.
what sense?
So like.
Like a sloppy Giuseppe.
Exactly. So
Yes.
like things are being written for certain characters, and if you look at the decision that these characters are making in season 4, compared to the way they've acted throughout the whole past 3 seasons, it just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And I think they're only making these characters make these decisions just to create conflict and to make the story go along,
Yeah.
rather than it being like a natural decision for the characters to make. So in season 4, there's a few. I'm not going to give away because there's the potential loads of spoilers. But there's a few characters like Ghost and his wife Tasha and like Tommy as well. Tommy's just got extra dumb this season. Like he's quite thick already. Like he's very like action first, think later sort of guy. But this season especially, he has been super stupid, and Ghost has been really stupid. Tasha's been really stupid, and I'm just thinking like this just doesn't.
Do we think it's coming
make
to an end then?
sense. One more. I think one more. I think it's been renewed for. I think it's been renewed for at least one more season.
Has it gone on too long though?
No. I think it's coming to an. I think it's coming to a natural conclusion. Yeah, kind of. But no, I'm really. I don't want it to end because I'm really enjoying. It's one of the few shows I watch where if I'm watching it and I see there's only like 5 minutes left, I'm like, oh man. Like, I wouldn't.
Is it going to be one of those situations though where the main character is an anti-hero like Walter White?
I think he's already an anti-hero.
Yeah, he is.
So the thing of how it will end overall will probably be he's either going to die or...
Well, this is what Ghost said in season 1 because Ghost wanted to get out of the drug game.
Yeah.
He says to Tasha, you don't see any old drug dealers. They're either dead or in jail. So the way it's going to end.
So basically,
he's going to die or he's going to be.
He watched a bit of Breaking Bad before he started. Before he had that, and he's like, basically, I don't want to be Walter White.
But yeah.
Why would you say what is an anti-hero?
Because
Is he a hero?
He was here to me.
He was a hero to his family because he was trying to make them money and
He wasn't
everything.
here to his family.
No, like,
His
he-
family-
he got
his
set-
family
he-
hated
He's
him.
not greedy.
He was a villain to his family.
Nah, well,
He was sympathetic in some respects,
Yeah.
and then by the last season and a bit, he was a villain.
You can have a sympathetic villain.
You can.
Oh, you
Walter
know.
White- Walter-
Oh, did I
Walter
hurt
White.
you? Did I hurt
Walter
you?
White was my hero. Get money, fuck bitches. That's all you got to do. Biggie said it first. R.I.P.
Oh.
But yeah, Power's sick. You should
Yeah,
all watch it
Power is good.
on your own. Don't watch it with people because
Okay.
the sex scenes are a bit nuts.
There's
what about
some sex
what about
scenes.
How to Get Away with Murder? You up to date with that?
Yeah, I finished season 3. How to go, man.
Good.
So,
Do you think it's coming to an end? Do you think it's getting a bit sloppy?
I think that.
Because I think I'm up to halfway through season 2,
Yeah.
and I'm already thinking it's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed the writing of How to Go with Murder, but I do think season 1 was the best season
Yeah.
they've done so far. Excuse me. So like the end of this season, I'm kind of at a point now because there was a couple things that happened. I'm just a bit like, oh, why did you do that? So like now I'm kind of thinking like maybe one more season and then just cut it off.
Cut off, yeah.
'cause I just kind of like CBA, and it's the thing. Like, I think it's telling that it took me ages to finally finish season 3 because I'd got up to episode. I think maybe episode.
Wait,
Wow.
someone's popular. Steady on.
I'd got up to maybe episode 10, I think, in like back in like January or something like that, and then it took me all the way till now to finish watching it. Whereas something like probably talking about in a minute, like Atypical, like that's just 8 episodes, like 30 minutes each. I just watched that. I just watched all that. Like literally last night, I watched them all straight away.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, tell us about that then. But also just want to mention I still haven't finished House of Cards.
Have you not?
Nope.
Bloody hell.
I even looked it all up just to see how it ended.
Is this because
like,
Wait, is
Game
House
of
of
Thrones
Cards
is
completely
coming
emptied now?
No.
I think they're
finished.
going to do another
It's
series.
not finished
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Go on, Chris, what were you going to say?
before you talk about Atypical, what have you finished Last Chance U?
No, I'm only on season. So we talked about that, haven't we?
Mm.
So I finished season 1, and I thought it was really, really good.
It's sick, innit?
I really enjoyed it.
I don't think you'll enjoy season 2. Well, personally,
I don't think I'm going to enjoy.
I
season
didn't
2.
enjoy season 2 as much as
Because
season 1.
I think the characters in season 1 were very. Get off me. The characters in season 1 were very likable, basically.
All I can say for season 2 is I was not invested in the characters as much as I was in season 1.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
And the ending, you're going to be like, how are they going to make a season 3?
Mm.
That's
Is it a documentary?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
yeah.
it's
It follows a college over a season of football. American football. Not
But
real.
why do you put football in
this
commas?
is a
Because it's
different
not
kind
real
of college
football, is
because
it?
it's kids who
It's
have
a
done
soccer.
something wrong and they're trying to redeem themselves, or they're not well educated and they're trying to educate themselves to be able to go to college further.
Do you
Kind
feel some of it has
situation.
been dramatised for like people's
Yeah,
entertainment?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I think so. I think even.
That's why they've got. That's why they've got
Disagree.
cameras there.
Yeah, I think
24/7.
even just the element of people just playing up to their cameras just because the cameras are there.
Probably.
Yeah. Because I remember you mentioning how the first series ends, and I was kind of like, that sounds a bit scripted.
No, that I don't think was scripted.
Okay.
That
But
was
yeah,
right
to
at
be
the
fair,
end.
that seemed quite natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened?
Because he got the coach just got super angry, and I think maybe he didn't feel that way about them, but maybe in some respects he did, and then he just blurted out like every bad thing he thought about these kids in one big go, and just blamed them for their attitude and the way they are for their loss, and it wasn't really their fault because they were getting targeted because this other team knew they were going to lose, wasn't it? The other team was losing. They just started bombarding and battering them, and then one of them just went mad and just threw a punch, and then the rest of them jumped in and threw a punch. They forfeit the game. 10 of their players can't start the first game of the season because of it, and half the staff can't start the first game of the season because of it, and they weren't put into the cup for the first and second place.
Okay. Talk about Atypical then.
Yeah, so Atypical's Netflix original, I think. It's
Yeah.
about a kid who's got autism, and basically he wants to get a girlfriend, and it's kind of like goes around him and how he deals with feelings, basically, or like because I don't know much about autism or autistic people, but like he has trouble knowing how to like what he's feeling and when to feel it, sort of thing. So it kind of goes through that, and then it revolves around like how his family like react to having like his sister, obviously. How he reacts to a brother having autism and a son having autism, and even his friends, because obviously like he's very like, I don't know if this is how all autistic people are, but he's like just literal, like he doesn't get any sort of like subtlety or
No
subtext
filter.
at all. Yeah, So like literally whatever he thinks, he just says it. He's that sort of autism, and like it just kind of he's quite a charming sort of like the way I don't know if the actor who played him has autism or not. I'm assuming that he doesn't. I don't know, but like the way he played it was very very charming. Like there was quite a few funny bits in it as well. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a drama / comedy. I don't really know, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. But I should tell you, I'll come back to me enjoying it in a minute. But so like I'm not gonna spoil it, but like it kind of just shows how like obviously he needs his family and obviously other people around him to help him and stuff like that. But I think also too in the point they need him as well.
Okay.
So like their lives have revolved around this boy so long that they're just so used to being just like there for him, to care for him. So when he's like, if he says to someone like, for example, like, oh, I don't need you, or if he says to his mum, oh, I don't want you, I want to talk to my dad, like his mum's kind of like, oh, like taken aback, sort of like she doesn't really know what to do with herself now that her son like doesn't need her anymore. Same with his sister, and yeah, it's quite good. I think you guys should watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not like groundbreaker or anything, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. 8 episodes. They're about 30 minutes long.
I'll smash that out in a day.
Yeah,
That's all right.
but no, it was good. I think the dad in it, I think, quite probably represents how I think most men would be if their child was autistic, because obviously he's like quite sympathetic towards the child. He wants to be like, you know, like there for him, but he doesn't really get it. This child's 18, by the way. He doesn't really. Young adult, but he doesn't really get him, and like they don't really like until like the first like 2-3 episodes. They don't really, you tell like they don't really get each other. They don't really connect. Then they start like talking properly, and they make like a really good father-son like connection sort of thing. But yeah, it's good. He's like basically trying to get a girlfriend, and
struggle is real.
he's like trying to get a girlfriend, and he's like kind of going through all these people, like just like walking up to people and saying, like, oh, do you want to go out with me and stuff like that, and they say no. He'd be like, why not? And he'd be like, because you're weird. He'd be like, why? And and like he gets a girlfriend and stuff like. Yeah.
Can you get autism at any age, or is it something?
I think something with Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think you're born.
Okay.
Does it comment on like struggles that autistic people may face, or is it kind of just they're using that as a form of comedy?
Yeah, it does. Sorry, it does. I think, but to the I don't know if do any of you guys know people with autism. I don't know, but like
Joe Pickford.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So, to the person, I think to an untrained eye, like myself, I'm thinking like, okay, this is showing me what it's like to be autistic, and like what the sort of struggles they face in very few instances, especially like one quite big incident near to the end of the series. He has a bit of an incident, but I've actually after I finished watching it, I went on Twitter to see what people were saying about it, and there's a lot of people who really don't like this program. Like people, I'm assuming from the autistic community, because I think this program was written by someone who's not autistic, but is like, I think maybe they're like a close friend or relative is autistic. So I think they're kind of basing it on that, and basically people on Twitter by saying like this is nothing, this is complete and total like misrepresentation of what autism is actually like, and like this is just reinforcing stereotypes and misconceptions about how people with autism act, and basically a load of people were just going kind of mad about it, saying like they didn't really like
PC, man, PC.
I mean, I get it though, because if you're like, if I have an autistic brother,
isn't there different types of autism now?
there is
There's a spectrum.
There's a spectrum, yeah, there is. So you can get autism where, so like the kid called Sam in Atypical, he's what they call like highly functioning on the spectrum. But there's obviously like, I'm assuming like further down the spectrum where there's people with autism who like can barely even talk.
Oh right, okay.
So, like,
And Asperger's is a form of autism.
yeah. So like, if I had a brother who had autism, and I saw it being portrayed in a certain way, and I'm like, that's nothing what my brother's like, I'd be pretty pissed off as well. I'm saying like they're trying to show it in a way that's that people are gonna want to watch it.
Yeah.
Like they're people gonna want to see stuff that's funny, stuff that like hits you in the feels, and like I can understand why certain people who might be thinking like this is complete bullshit. So
Yeah.
I get what they'd be.
So is knowing someone, or even like a close friend, a close relative, with some form of condition or experience, is that enough to be able to write about it, or do you feel like
But
you need to
everyone's
have?
is different, isn't it?
But
So
yeah,
if you're
but-
like taking care of someone with something, and Krista's taking care of someone with the same thing, you totally got different experiences.
But would
So
do you
they'd
think
be like,
it's-
oh well, you're having a real laugh with them, you're getting on.
But
Krista's
if I
having
knew
a
that
nightmare
you'd
of it.
experienced something and I wrote about it, do you feel like, would you not be like, well, I should have written about that because I experienced
I
it?
think that's the point that people are trying to make.
because I'd like to, I'd tell you, like describe it to
Yeah,
you.
but even describing it's not the same.
Because
someone's
the thing-
better
the thing-
at writing and describing something than someone else is at describing something that's
Get,
happening.
like, loads of
But what I
opinions.
appreciated about
Like,
The Big Sick was the fact that it is Camille Nanjiani's own experiences, whether he's dramatised them or whatever. At least it kind of feels authentic. Whereas if it's like, oh yeah, my mate's got Asperger's or has experienced homophobia,
Yeah.
like does that give you the right to write about it?
True.
I don't have anything wrong with like having the right to write about it, but I do think
They should
I
do their homework a
don't
bit
know
more.
I don't know who actually wrote it. So the person who wrote it might have autism, but I think that the person who wrote it doesn't, and I think they just know someone or relate to someone who has it. But I think if it was like I'm trying to think of a better example. I don't know if they were trying to if someone made a TV show about my life, and it was through, for example, so if you wrote a TV show based on my life, but you just wrote it from your perspective of my life, it's obviously going to be different to what I'm actually experiencing.
Yeah.
So there are going to be people who are like, this isn't, obviously it may show certain bits that are true, but it doesn't give you the full full
Yeah.
perspective.
I do that.
Do you know what I mean? What
Like
about
you being in love with me, like in a weird way, but
And the fact that he stole your nickname, right?
yeah.
Can I say it? Actually,
No,
do you know
no,
what?
shut your mouth.
I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even gonna say
Do you think it's quite good that Netflix are trying to hone in on all these?
They really are. I think, yeah. Sorry.
What's it? What's the word?
Like mental issues.
Yeah,
like,
like-
to the bone.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's really good.
I
Yeah.
just had the weirdest deja vu.
Did you?
I
I had like 20 minutes ago.
I think we've gone back in time and we've already done this episode.
I had deja vu like 20 minutes ago.
But yeah, carry
Maybe
on.
you've been to the future.
No, I was just saying. Do you not think it's good though? But then
I think it's really good.
I think it's like what you're saying about this atypical. It's like a lot of people, like I was reading here, the people were saying that obviously it's inaccurate and stereotypical, and some people were questioning the lack of autistic people in the series as well. But you could also say the same thing about, was it 13 Reasons Why? Like,
Yeah.
we did question, although it was a very heart-wrenching and very deep TV series, there were some things that we questioned. Although,
Yeah.
whether we can is that the right word? Whether we can actually question it because we've never been through it is another thing. But
Yeah.
it hit home. So it hit home because especially the last scene, wasn't it? Really, the way she cut herself
Yeah.
open. So was that the same for you? Did it hit home about autistic people? Did you feel kind of not sympathy is the wrong word, but maybe it's sympathy. I don't know.
Empathy?
Empathy for them.
There was only like one bit really.
Or not for them, for people.
So
with
I think this is the
autism.
bad thing actually. There's only really one bit where I felt empathetic towards him,
Okay.
and I think that's quite a bad thing because obviously
Yeah.
I'm watching this thinking, oh yeah, this ain't that bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's at a point where like he doesn't really, he's not really able to tell what other people are thinking, or like the expression on their face, stuff like that. But like that's pretty much all they were kind of showing me.
Okay.
They only
So,
really showed like one point where he kind of like went off the.
I would say for me that would be an issue because I think
Yeah.
if you're doing a series like this, I think the whole aim should be for people to empathise with that character, so then they can almost emulate it in their own way and like kind of see it through someone's eyes who has autism kind of thing. So
you
if
need
you're
to
not,
have these characters, like if you do have Asperger's or autism in whatever form,
yeah,
you want to be able to relate to them, right?
yeah, kind of see it through their eyes almost, because that
Yeah.
is what a TV series in that kind of perspective does, isn't it? It's meant to make you see it through someone else's eyes and that their story kind of unfold almost. And
But you're right, and it's good that Netflix are taking a chance with these things, and even Amazon did with Transparent. I didn't see it, but
what was it?
Transparent. It's about the father of someone who transitions into being a woman. So it's all about. I mean, I don't know what the reception to that was like. I don't know how it treats its subject matter, but the fact that there are exposure, or this sort of thing is now being produced, is in itself important. Whether they get it right is another question, but they can always improve on these things. They'll learn how people
But
react
will
to it.
Netflix learn though?
You'd hope.
Because
It's all a learning process.
Exactly.
It
It's
is,
all a learning
but
process.
my only fear is that Netflix is such a highly revenue generated process that whether a series, it's like, my example would be that Sense8 was a very groundbreaking series in the sense that it had a gay relationship, a lesbian relationship, a transgender relationship. It had like a culmination of so many different like topical situations and scenarios, and I thought it was doing really well, but they just cancelled it out of the blue.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It might be ratings dropped, but I feel like they pick and choose where they want to bring stuff in, take
They
stuff
do,
out.
yeah. I mean, obviously it's a commercial enterprise, but the fact that they're giving these things a chance to have
True.
a platform is important.
Yeah.
They financed Okja, which is a film about a pig or something. So they do take chances. They don't always work. I mean, they gave it 2 series, so maybe
True, and they're going to give 13 reasons. They're giving 13 reasons why another series, which I question.
I think this might get another series as well.
Yeah, they said that it was
Oh, really?
it was very highly
The way it ended.
majority.
Made me think of this.
Is
High-
the
well,
title in itself quite problematic?
What's the title?
Atypical. The fact that it's kind of highlighting that people with autism are not normal or not typical. Is it should this not be saying that it doesn't matter whether you have
But then
autism
is it
or
is it
this or
honing
that,
in?
like you are just a person?
Maybe. I mean, like,
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know
I'm
how the
reading too
series.
much
Maybe
into it,
I didn't watch the series, so maybe they're trying to hone in that maybe some people don't understand the seriousness of it, so that's why they're saying atypical to highlight maybe it is a bit more. It is different from the norm, and people don't. I don't know. You've watched the series, so I'm just making general speculation.
Are they
on
trying
this.
to say that they are typical? They're a typical human being. Typical. You never know. You don't know.
Oh,
There we
I
go.
like it. I think
There
he's
you go.
hitting
You
that on
don't
the head.
know.
You have a way with words, Joe.
I know. Don't adjust.
You sound like a Tony Montana.
But yeah,
Brought
I
tears to
enjoyed
my
it.
eyes,
You
mate.
guys should watch it. I
Okay.
think it's good.
It doesn't seem like too much of an investment.
No, it's quite light.
It's on-
I would say
it's
compared to something like 13 Reasons Why, it's quite light.
It's on my list to watch before next episode, so I've got
Fucking hell, that
Prison
list is
Break,
huge.
Power. Prison Break, I've only got 3 episodes left. Power, 24, How to Get Away with Murder, That 100, Magician, Under the Dome, and Transparent. And now,
Atypical.
Damn.
Which one's the magician? Is it the one with the guy who's a magician who solves crimes?
No. No, not really. No, there's basically this guy thinks he's got he thinks he's odd to the world, and then he
This is
finds
your
this, there's this magical place taking me.
Oh, it's like Hogwarts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
It's actually alright. It's alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did watch. I always forget the name of it. The Netflix series
There's quite a few of them.
Just a
Yep.
few.
with
Really
the ginger
good.
girl.
Really good, that one.
With the ginger girl Netflix series.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
No,
Shadowhunters.
yeah, Shadowhunters. I keep watching that. It's actually alright. I mean, I won't recommend it to anyone, but it seems to be doing. It seems to be doing alright. It seems to be doing alright in the sense that it's now got a 3rd season coming out, so it must be doing alright, innit?
God. You do scrape the barrel, don't you?
Well, I like to see all spectrums of the TV series world. So.
Actually, I saw one of those like bottom of the barrel Netflix films. It wasn't produced
What
by
was it?
Netflix. Do you know what? I can't even remember what it was called. But it was in the
It's one of
horror
those-
section.
it's
Oh,
one of
it's
those
called
films.
The Invitation. And it's about this guy who, his ex-wife has got a new husband, and they get invited around for dinner. He takes his girlfriend, and there's some old friends there. But obviously, like, he's in this old house, and he kind of their son died, and it's like about their grief and how they get over it. And it was quite predictable and just
Shit.
terrible.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like, yeah, it just kind of went from 0 to 100 real quick, and I was like, yeah. The fact that I didn't even recall the name very quickly, it was crap.
For you as well.
Well, we did discuss this last week, like bad films, and you tend to forget the names
Yeah.
Yeah.
of bad films, don't you? But I'll tell you what I'm going to try and watch next week, Annabelle.
Oh, I want to see that Annabelle Creation.
Mm.
Yeah. Yes. Talking about things that we did actually, questions we had. My brother mentioned to me, because he was listening to this, so cheers, Steve. When we were talking about pop stars that made into actors, he was like, no one mentioned Justin Timberlake. I was like, wow, okay, that's
That's
big
a long
omission.
time ago,
Big
though, isn't it?
omission. So shout out Steve.
Yeah,
for-
well played, mate. Well
for,
played.
you know.
What the hell was Justin Timberlake again?
It was in
He
that.
does loads of things.
He's in that.
good.
He was in
That
that.
was
with-
good.
Friends with benefits.
That was good.
Oh, that's it.
That was good.
Wasn't he in that dog saying? I don't know.
Oh, not Dog Soldiers. I know what you mean.
Dogma.
No.
That's a good film, though.
I don't know. Yeah, he's been in things.
Was he good in those things?
So thanks, Steve.
That was the point.
Great shout.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks for listening.
Give us a retweet.
Yeah.
Anyway, any more things to mention? We've had a pretty packed episode. At least we've only got one episode of Game of Thrones to catch up on next week. Where Daenerys died.
No, she won't die in that one, mate. If she does,
She'll die in the last episode
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay.
of this season.
Well, tweet us in your ideas for how Game of Thrones is going to conclude. Do you agree with any of our theories? Tweet us at YSC Podcast 17, Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud and iTunes at Your Average Critics. Do give us a comment, give us a share, 5-star review, all that jazz. And tune in next week for, I think it will be our quarter of a century.
Mm.
So
Fuck Donald Trump.
Tell all your friends.
Please.
Tell a friend, tell a friend.